Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Wrestling Rundown, episode 204. Yep, 204. We actually have like a 3-person panel this time. Good thing I said that because I was going to go a completely different direction, but I stopped myself.
Yeah, how long has it been since it's been just the three of us?
Long time.
Like ages, right?
Get a three-way.
I don't think we did.
Whoa. Whoa. That could be taken multiple different ways here, Chris.
I'm leaving it up for the audience to imagine.
Yep. I don't think they.
That's a scary imagination.
I don't think they want to imagine that.
No. I feel bad for poor Owen. He'd be squished.
I know. I'd probably die.
You would.
No, but anyhow, though, I think did we do one at all in 2020? I don't think we did.
Probably not.
It's probably in sometime in 2019.
Well, that's if we did a I think Revolution maybe.
Revolution. Yeah, it would have been the last time, I think.
Yeah.
Okay. The good old days when we could actually.
Before some virus fucked up our fun.
Yo.
Yay.
But today we're gonna talk about today's Sunday though, so you might see this tomorrow, depending on how YouTube decides to be when it comes uploading this. Because
if you see this on Super Bowl, which is none of you, more power to you.
Yo. But yeah, today we're gonna talk about Impact Wrestling and Dynamite from this week. No Dark because I didn't feel like watching over 2 hours of squash matches. So.
That's basically what it was. I actually did watch Dark though. There was a couple of highlights, but
you can. Do you want to talk about it, or is it not like do you?
I can talk about it real quick. I just got to get the actual card up because luckily they have the chapters things now, so you can just skip right through.
Oh yeah, I love it. Yeah.
I love
probably
chapters on you.
When I'm doing my free time, I'll be like, watching this. I'll probably watch it then, but I'm not. I didn't feel like what. I wouldn't have missed Dynamite if I watched that, and it wasn't worth missing Dynamite to sit through.
Yeah, it was not worth missing Dynamite. That much I can tell you. Unless, of course, you did it all in a row. Like, okay, I'm gonna watch Ring of Honor, then I'm gonna watch Impact, and then after it's all on VOD, I'm gonna watch AEW Dark, all in that order. Which is what I usually do.
What I did was just watch Impact and then Dynamite. So
that's fair. All right, I believe. Yeah, this is the first time, by the way, where they didn't have an episode number on Dark, which I thought was odd because I like the fact that they were doing episode numbers and then nah, we're gonna just stop doing that now. Why?
I remember the episode titles would always be where they were. Like for example, like when it was in Boston when we were there.
Literally, this is the title of the fucking Dark show. What does Ricky Starks have to say on the waiting room? Plus 13 matches.
Holy
what the fuck?
I remember one time I watched an episode of Dark and like Tony Schiavone was hyping it up, saying like you're gonna see like some really good matches here, and you're gonna see this epic 8-man tag. And I was expecting like the Elite versus somebody else. I don't know why. And it was like the Addiction and some other tag team that like I didn't really care about. Versus Butcher and the Blade and the Lucha Bros or something, and I was like, it wasn't really the 8-man tag I wanted. I wanted like the Elite versus like the Dark Order or something.
I think the Elite did fight a tag team on Dark like way back in the early. I think it was Strong Hearts.
Yeah, that was like the good old days. That was the good old days of Dark before it was a ton of squashes.
Yeah, right.
I make it seem like I hate Dark. I don't hate Dark, but it's not. Like it's, I just didn't feel like sitting through 2 hours.
It's not the same without a crowd there. That much is absolutely.
And you gotta understand, like
after Dynamite.
Yeah.
So all the crowds left. All the crowds are gone.
You gotta understand too, like I think they set the bar too high because literally, like the second episode, which me and Chris were at, was Kenny Omega versus Joey Janela in a lights out match, and now it's like gone from that to like a ton of squashes.
Yeah, right.
And the people I've literally never even heard of.
I love how they had a tag team.
I will say, some of the matches I would check out, just from what I'm seeing on here. That I did actually watch this episode, but check
Before you
out
break it down, I want to talk about I think it's funny though because they'll post the results like underneath on like Dynamite. I think it's hilarious that they had a tag team called TNT and didn't put them over. I think that's hilarious.
Right? I said the same thing. Speaking of that,
That's
TNT teamed up with Mbadu versus Dustin Rhodes, QT Marshall, and Nick Camarado. This is just worth checking out because TNT and Nick Camarado specifically. Even Mbadu kind of shined in here a little bit.
Devon Dudley's boys.
Devon Dudley's boys, indeed. If you want something completely out of the fucking blue, check out Bear Country, Sonny Kiss, and Joey Janela, the most oddball fucking 8-man tag of quite possibly of all time, versus Aaron Solo, Sean Dean, Baron Black, and Mike Verna, which somehow makes more sense than the other team I just mentioned.
Yeah.
Sounds like it.
So if you want to,
team up with Lance Archer soon.
yeah, if you want to watch,
I'm guessing TNT lost too. They didn't put over TNT.
yeah, they did not put over TNT.
They're not getting renewed for another deal.
Although even though they're not putting over TNT, I think it was the episode before this where they had an awesome match with SCU on Dark. Definitely, if you're not going to watch this one, go check out the last episode. Fucking great.
They're definitely not putting. They're definitely not getting a new deal on TNT in 2024 because they're not putting them over now. They should have been putting them over.
Listen, man. They're gonna be put over. Don't you worry. I think they're gonna be signed by the end of the year. They're too talented not to be signed. Speaking of people that also will be signed as well, even though he's not on here. Actually, he might be on here. I just don't see him on this list. But Baron Black absolutely is going to get signed. Keep an eye out on him. Go watch his match with Ray Phoenix. This is not on this episode, though. I think that was on the last episode. Yeah, he is on that. He was on that weird 8-man tag I just mentioned.
I feel like I've seen him before because that name sounds familiar.
You should definitely check out the Acclaimed versus Danny Limelight and Ryzen, specifically for Ryzen. Actually showed a shit ton of potential in this match. I would watch out for him in the future.
Is this Rob Ryzen? Because I feel like I've heard that name before.
This is the dude that who was originally the summoner of Abaddon, but they decided not to do that for some reason, and now he's just kind of lingering on Dark.
There you go.
But he's actually the more talented of the fucking two, which astounds the fuck out of me that he's not actually on the main show. If you want to listen to Gun Club and mainly for Anthony, listen to me. I'm thinking of Anthony Green for some reason. Fucking Austin Gunn to just be a shithousery all over commentary. Definitely give that a watch.
Yep.
Layla Hirsch. This is a squash match. She fought Katrina Perez. I would just watch this just to see Layla Hirsch. Layla Hirsch.
Yeah, absolutely.
She's fucking brutal on this one. And the last one is definitely the waiting room segment just for Mr. Ricky Starks trying to be Mr. Steal Your Girl.
Adam Cole better watch it. Cole better watch out.
Dude, he doesn't even hide the fact. I think that was the whole gimmick. And like Britt Baker took off her fucking doctor's coat and then Tony Schiavone came in and he's like cock blocked Ricky Starks. It's the funniest shit I've ever seen on Dark.
You better
he
watch
just comes in like a dead and just cock blocks Ricky Starks. The best shit. And of course, and it's funny too because it furthered the whole Sting and Darby Allin versus Ricky Starks Brian Cage dynamic because Tony Schiavone is like a big fan of Sting and Darby Allin. So
yo, I wonder why he's such a big fan of Sting. I would never know.
It's Sting.
They try to have him get that out every week now. He's gonna lose. I don't think he's gonna have a voice by the end of the year.
Yeah, probably. He's gonna fucking lose it. Hey, guy. Hey. We don't like it when WWE does it. Please don't keep having him repeat that it's Sting every fucking week, please.
Yeah.
Jesus God. Just in case we forgot. We didn't know that this was Sting. We had to have Tony Schiavone reverberate our ears that it's Sting.
Good thing I don't watch Dynamite with headphones on.
I did.
Feel bad for
It was
you.
loud, dude. It was loud.
Now, do you think if you talk about Stin, do you think if you just talk about Stin, he yells it? Do you think like he just screams it? Like how many?
Yeah, he'll just be like, anytime he talks about Sting, he'll just be like, "Oh, you know, my favorite wrestler is Sting." You know,
Do you guys by chance do you guys by chance watch the post game show sometimes when Shivani reads the comments and stuff? Or are you guys not into that?
Yeah, every time somebody comments something, he'll just be like, he'll have an exasperated look on his face, and then he just does it. It's Sting.
I love it. I love it when he reads the trolls. I love it when he reads the trolls.
Oh my god, he's the best. He annihilates these people.
I love it too because you can tell like he doesn't keep up to date with wrestling. So I'm gonna ask a question about like he didn't even know the Undertaker retired when it happened. He was like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like I just love it because he's so out of the loop with anything.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Everybody's like, no, he has to know. I'm like, no, trust me, Tony doesn't. Tony does not know Undertaker retired.
Tony
No
also
chance.
said that he completely regretted leaving the WWF after 1990.
I love that he shits all over WCW too.
He's not
I
wrong
love
there, honestly.
He
He's
said
not
that
wrong.
he didn't want to move his family to Connecticut, and after 19, it was only a 1-year contract.
Yep.
And he said he's to this day he's on positive terms with the McMahons. So
I still love.
Supposedly, how positive can they be if they said they wanted to bring him in and then they're like they had nothing for him, and then he came to AEW because they had nothing for him?
I mean, he's still they have a lot of respect for each other.
I also love on the post game show when he just shits all over WCW. He just shits all over it.
I mean, imagine if he had stayed like in the WWF, like it would have made it, I think Vince would have got off commentary a lot sooner.
Yep.
I agree.
That's a credit to Tony Schiavone. What a great commentator he is.
Would they have brought Jim Lawson?
Way better than Vince because Vince was like, "Oh, whatever."
Would they have brought Jim Lawson too? Because they wouldn't need Jim Ross if Shivani was there.
That's true, but they could have brought in Jim Ross anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, wasn't like Shivani and Jim Ross the commentary team for WCW in like 1990 or 1991 actually?
Were they together?
Yeah, I should know. I had to watch Halloween Havoc '91.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that is. Yeah.
Anyhow, continue with Doc.
That was it. That's literally all the highlights from this week's episode. Everything else is just
I forgot to pause the video so I could write down the time code because we got busy talking. So.
Well, pause it now. It's fine. Dark is
code word. Nope, it's too, I blew it.
Kiss my ass.
That ass goodbye.
Kiss that ass goodbye.
Let's talk about Impact now.
I did say that like one of those fucking stereotypical jingles, like from a infomercial. Kiss my ass goodbye.
Buy one, get one free.
I don't know. Fuck it.
Let's talk about Impact.
We're good.
Let's talk about Impact now. I thought Impact actually was a pretty awesome show this week. Like, there's literally only like a few things I didn't like on this show,
this was a relatively great show. Both shows were great, I think.
Oh yeah,
this week for sure.
Let's get the negatives out of the way. They're just small things. The poker segment. What was that?
I don't even know. Anything Johnny Swinger touches is shit. Can we please get rid of him?
I do like that.
Please,
big man.
I beg you, please get rid of him.
I do like one thing about it though is that at least Alicia Edwards and Falaba were like talked about how they were stuck in like a butterfly effect or something. Like they were stuck in like they were in Groundhog Day.
Swingers World.
Yeah.
I don't like it. Day. I don't want to be in Swingers World, and I don't want to watch Swingers World. I want Swingers World to get the fuck off my TV.
Yes.
Oh my
Chris,
god!
Did you like this segment, or did you hate it like just like us?
It's bad.
Yeah.
I don't even want to say it was like I didn't really hate the segment. I was just kind of sitting there like wondering what the hell I saw because it didn't really accomplish anything. Like,
You know that old saying, "Game recognizes game." This is shitheads recognizing shit.
Yep.
Yeah,
This is what this is, man.
it was not good.
Awful.
Their segments need to get better.
Yep.
These segments don't need to get better. It doesn't get better with Johnny Swinger in there. They just need to get fucking Swinger off. I've given them enough chances.
In general, Impact, like their segments are not very good. They need to like make them better.
I agree with that. Yeah.
They're way too cringy and not
Yep.
funny.
There
And
was
also
some.
highly scripted.
Yes,
There was something-
way too scripted.
There was something I'll say.
Those ones always seem extremely scripted.
Yeah.
There was something else I didn't necessarily like. Maybe you did, but the match just didn't connect with me, and that was Havoc versus Tasha Steelz. Really wasn't a fan of this match.
Yeah.
Just what didn't really do anything. Didn't really do anything for me.
It was okay. Like I could have taken it or leaving it, but it didn't offend me too much.
Maybe because I've never really been that big of a fan of Havoc is why I didn't really get into it. So
I'm not a
The
big
funny thing is, Havoc improved from absolute garbage to all right.
yeah,
I mean,
He's okay.
he's all right now
Like,
compared
I
to
just
what he
don't
was
get
back then.
Fire and Flavor.
yeah.
So
I do like that team name. That should be their team name.
is Fire, and Tasha steals his Flavor. What do you taste her? Is she food now?
Yup.
Like
It's,
that's like what is Flavor? Like what does it have to do with anything?
this
Well,
is
Chris,
the
I do
start of, it's the start of a porno scene, Chris.
Chris, I do gotta remind you. Kara Hogan is a lesbian, so maybe she is tasting.
Oh my
Tasha
god!
Steelz.
I was making a joke. Actually,
She's she's Flavor. She's both of them.
Oh, shit, I didn't even realize. Oh, that's fucking great.
I'm just
Tag team name, and I don't like either of these tag teams. So
I like the tag team name for what they are. I just wish they, dude.
you could have picked
See, the
something else
thing-
than Flavor. Like I just don't.
Here's the
like-
thing. Well, here's the thing with this whole thing. Okay, these two are actually like really, really, really good, and they're bad bitches. They
Yes.
should be presented as such, not cringy fucking ghetto bitches that don't know how to throw parties. Like that's
Yeah,
exactly how they're
absolutely.
packaging them. And I'm like, what does this accomplish?
Nothing.
Not at all. Nothing at all.
It accomplishes me turning off the television. So what it accomplished me.
Please stop booking them like this and book them
Yeah.
like just as much as AEW books Evilise and Diamante Strong. Even if they do just have a bunch of dark matches, at least you get a good program out of it.
Yup.
Eva Lisa and Diamante, the team that never appears on Dynamite because they don't care about the women's division.
Yup. Something else I didn't.
We'll get to that.
Something else I didn't like on this show. Was the Susan Jordan Grace match. Was
Oh,
not a
God.
fan of that match.
Dude, it's so jarring. Unless the attire is like it works, right? So I'll give an example. I'll actually use my show as an example because fuck you.
Surprise.
But like when we have Harrington, right? Like Matt Harrington or Jack or Foster, and they have like the dress shirt and the pants, but they have fucking shoes, like
Yeah.
actual shoes.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, or even a Jack Gallagher, like when he would come out, and that's kind of how he wrestled somewhat.
Yup.
I don't understand why she wrestles in a full fucking suit.
She wasn't even like wearing like dress shoes either. She was wearing like sneakers. Like it didn't even
Yeah,
go with it.
that's the thing that made no sense to me. It's like she's wearing these fucking sneakers. You couldn't even get like fucking black Vans or some shit to make it look like it was a part of the suit. Why do this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why
For
do
me
this gimmick?
specifically? Why does she need 3 gimmicks?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like is
Sue Young's her best gimmick.
Sue Young dead? Like
Sue Young's her best gimmick. Susie fulfilled her purpose. Why? Where the fuck did this one come from?
I did like Susie. I thought Susie was an interesting character because it did show signs that she was still Sue Young.
Yeah.
Like she goes to dances and everything. Whereas Susan's like just a completely just it's opposite, and it just doesn't work. It's like she doesn't. This is a character that doesn't need to be there. It's either Susie or it's Sue Young.
I love the I used to hate Sue Young, if everybody remembers. I used to shit on her, and then she got so much better in the ring, and now I love her. I'm really a fan of Sue Young.
Wrestler.
I actually didn't know that because I don't think we ever had that conversation actually. So I did like those since we're talk because I think those were the only negative things on the show. I did like that.
And you are frozen on my end for some reason.
Yeah.
You might want to turn your camera off, turn it back on. But continue with what you were saying as you do that.
I like the return of ODB afterwards. I thought that was fine. There was no issues with that. So.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, ODB returning was cool.
Yeah,
I loved it. I'll tell you
it.
why I loved it. I actually pegged for these two to actually team up, Jazz and ODB, and I'm like, oh shit, okay. Well,
now you add Jordan Grace to the mix, so
it's just weird. It was just weird to me. I was like, okay, like I guess like out of all like the women they could have brought back, I guess ODB's been appearing like occasionally, like here and there over the past year or so.
It is hilarious to me, by the way, that out of all the people that are still in wrestling to this day, ODB in the political climate we're in right now in this world is still has a job.
Not one dirty bitch, just ODB. She's not one dirty bitch anymore.
Well, I mean, she's still one dirty bitch, even though it won't say that, but that's exactly what it is, and enough people know. But even then, it's just like she grabs her tits still. She does the taunt, bam, every time. It's like, what the fuck? How does this woman have a job? Sexual harassment.
I even love how afterwards, backstage, like Jordan Grace and Jazz all did it along with her. It was so awesome. Right? Like,
you mean Jordan Grace in her flat chest?
Yes.
Jordan Grace actually doesn't have that flat of a chest. Not that flat.
There's nothing there.
There's a lot more there than some women.
Yep.
I will refrain from saying who, but
no, but I thought this was
Jim Neidhart who?
I like the return.
Yeah, sure.
I like the return of ODB though. I'm happy she's back.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, how can you be mad ODB's back? You know. Yeah.
I like ODB. ODB's a hell of a wrestler.
Chris, do you like ODB being back, or do you want it to be gone forever?
It's okay.
Yeah, why not?
It was random, but like I get it. Like the more I think about it now, it's like she's been appearing like semi-regularly.
Yes.
So it kind of makes sense.
And then everything else is. I think everything's pretty much positive right here. I love the match that Josh Alexander and Madman Fulton have. I thought that was a killer of a match.
Josh Alexander looked like a fucking world beater.
Yeah,
as he should have. Like it was a big boy brawl.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I fucking love. Like I love those like hoss fights. I like
absolutely.
Yeah, like it's like they had Big E and Bobby Lashley do it in the Rumble. So I fucking love those. Those like big hoss brawls. Like when done properly, like that and like this, it looks good.
Yeah, I thought this was a killer of a match. I don't remember the finish because I've watched it a few days ago. So.
I believe he hit some form of weapon axe or something, and then it was some pile driver, and he got him with the win.
It was the J Driller.
Yeah,
the J Driller. Yeah, and then he got him with the
underhook Tiger Driver, pile driver,
which looked nuts. And Fulton sold this like he legit died.
Yes. Yeah, this is a killer of a match.
Of Josh Alexander.
Yeah, the only weird one minute criticism on it is it would just kind of abruptly ended after the match was over.
Yeah,
there was no follow up or like that was just the match, and that would go to commercial. I was like,
Josh Alexander's really good.
Yeah.
But they made him seem like he was like the plucky underdog babyface.
Well, he's going up against. He's also
as opposed to being a credible challenger to Madman Fulton.
Well, look at Madman Fulton. He's a crazy man. Like, the freaking dude popped his arm back in, or at least tried to after Ken Shamrock hurt it. I feel like he is kind of an underdog in that scenario.
Can you imagine if Michael Elgin didn't fuck up as hard as he did? A match between him and Elgin would have been fucking money.
Who, Josh Alexander or Madman Fulton?
Oh, this would have been a fucking money program, dude.
Yo.
Nice.
Two sides of the same coin, just on different sides, dude.
Oh, yeah.
We also found out the status of Ken Shamrock, because you didn't see this last week because it was recorded after the show. He basically just destroyed people last week. Personnel and stuff, and Sami Callihan was mad at him. So we found out...
He was beating people into a living death. Yeah. That's what was happening.
So Scott D'Amore backstage basically announced that he was suspended indefinitely. And... Sami Callihan
from the rafters is laughing at a Ken Shamrock at 50 years old, beating people into a living death with that UFC promo playing over and over.
I literally couldn't stop laughing when Ken Shamrock was like, I literally was like, what the fuck?
I noticed there's a pattern with a lot of these old... From every MMA fighter between 93 and freaking 2008, nobody can scream to save their fucking life.
Yeah. No, it was like,
it
made me laugh. I was like, what is that? What the fuck was that? It didn't even sound intimidating.
Do you remember Brock Lesnar, how much of a bitch he used to scream like?
That's what it sounded like when Shamrock did it. It was exactly what it sounded like.
Oh my God, yep.
Let's do this.
But there's more stuff that happened with this, because this isn't the last we see of Sami Callihan on the night. Trey Miguel got interviewed. He just had like a normal sit-down exclusive where he talked about it, like what it was like to be back, and then the screen like glitches, and Sami Callihan. Impact's really got to update their system so it doesn't get hacked, because freaking Sami Callihan keeps hacking the system.
Sami Callihan's such an incredible hacker that he could teleport wherever the fuck he wants to go.
He is the draw, Sami Callihan.
The teleporter.
I love this segment because like he basically ripped Trey Miguel, saying like he doesn't really care about this company. How basically the company threw away a retirement angle just for you to come back anyways. And I really loved how aggressive Trey Miguel was.
He's not even wrong. The funny thing is, there's some truth to that.
Yeah.
There's actually some truth to that. Because originally, I think the original plan was to go to somewhere, because it wasn't WWE, but it wasn't going back to Impact.
Yeah.
And then he found out that they just had a working relationship with AEW. And like, fuck, I can't miss this out. So he came back.
But I thought this was awesome. I really enjoyed this back and forth that Sami Callihan and Trey Miguel had with each other, and I'm really looking forward to them having a match. Oh, and I'm so happy.
I love how he threw MSK under the bus too in the promo. Like, the fuck.
I really.
I don't have my crutches anymore. I was like, dude, fuck you.
Yeah.
Like.
Okay, dude,
you say that?
Who's the babyface? Who's the heel? If I'm looking at this from an outside perspective, I'm thinking Sammy's the babyface here.
Yeah, exactly. Like, not the douchebag who just threw his friends in the bus.
Let's be real though. Sami Callihan's gonna do something within like a week that makes him the heel though. He's gonna like murder him or something, or like threaten to hurt his mom or something. Like,
well, the mom. He'll probably do that. Yeah. He's going to saw his fingers off.
Bro.
I invented sawing fingers off, bro.
I never really knew like how good of a promo Trey Miguel really was, because this is the first time I've seen him cut it without that crappy gimmick that he had. So
I hated the Rascals gimmick.
Yeah.
I honestly
pod, bro. Like, it's okay. It's not fucking.
You know what? Maybe it wasn't necessarily so bad he threw his friends under the bus. Maybe they were crutches, because you're not wrong, Owen.
Yeah.
His delivery was exquisite, to say the least.
Absolutely.
Like, that guy was probably he was the most believable promo other than Sami Callihan on the entire fucking show.
Absolutely.
Honest to God.
I thought the ending was a little hokey,
Yeah.
where he got like really big and then like was about to pop.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck was that?
Dude, he'd been taking that roid.
He
He's
looks like
on that Scott Steiner diet. He's on that Scott Steiner diet. He just gets really big when he gets really mad.
He was on that Hogan diet.
I also like, obviously the Brian Myers.
Brother.
Eat your vitamins, brother.
I also like the Brian. Why don't you talk about it, Chris? Since he's your favorite thing on the show, why don't you talk about this Brian Myers promo that happened on the show?
Okay. He's the best that happened. He's the most professional wrestler I've ever seen in my life. He's just so professional. What makes him so professional is that he's a fucking professional.
Yeah.
He's just so good.
Did you not know that he was a professional?
No, I couldn't tell.
He's the most.
couldn't either.
He's the most professional wrestler.
That's what he is. That's what he is. He's just the fucking best.
Does that mean he's the most professional at being the most professional wrestler?
Yes.
Yes.
Does that mean he's the most professional at being the most professional wrestler?
Yes.
If we were to really decipher this, we'd be going into the infinity realm of how many professionals there be in this name. That's how professional that Brian Myers is.
Who's to say it stops at wrestling? He could be the most professional trainer in the business too. You know what I mean?
He did train MJF, so that's not even a lie. To be honest.
Yeah, but yeah. He's the most. He could be the most professional eater in all of the world too. You know what I mean?
The most professional.
Fuck you. That's my job. I got that title taken right here.
Coming from the guy that got food trapped in his beard. I don't think
that's
Brian
what
Myers
makes me a professional eater.
Yeah, are you the most professional eater though?
I'm working there.
So no, so it's Brian Myers. He's the most professional sleeper too.
He probably is. He has to be the most professional wrestler.
I just realized it's a double negative, by the way. He's the most, because he's got two professionals in there, and that makes it.
Yeah, I mean,
a positive. Yeah. I think that's how that works.
Negative. No.
Wait, so he's unprofessional?
You know what? Don't go by me though, because I'm not good at math.
It's the most professional wrestler.
Anyway, the point stands. He's the best thing on the show.
He just sucks, okay? I think we can all agree with that.
The gimmick sucks, not him.
Yeah, this gimmick is
So he came out and he had a fucking stupid eye patch on. He was selling an injury, and then Eddie Wiz came out and beat the shit out of him. And then
his injury didn't go.
And then he suddenly didn't have an injury anymore. And then Hernandez came out as his insurance policy, and then Matt Cardona came out for the save, and now they're feuding. Yeah,
because they're having now at No Surrender. It's going to be a it's not confirmed yet, but they went and asked Scott D'Amore about it, who hasn't made it official yet.
Can we, for the love of God, find any fucking way to get Davey Richards back, so that way we don't have cosplay Tommy Dreamer Eddie Edwards anymore?
Yeah,
please.
It's over now.
It only worked for the Sammy feud lasted forever, and now that feud has been killed off. Yeah. Please switch him back to Wolves Eddie Edwards.
Yeah, he's like he's like Tommy Dreamer light.
Yeah, literally. He's just diet Tommy Dreamer.
This is a minor critique too. I kind of wanted to see Eddie Edwards do something better than this after the Sammy feud. I feel like
100% too. I agree.
So I feel like it's just
he should have had the feud with Brian. Then in the match with Brian, he should have came back with the old Wolves gear. Yeah. And then he should have fucking beat him in a standard pure wrestling match. It was tailor-made to bring that gimmick back, and they're like, nope, I'm still cosplay Tommy Dreamer.
Yep. It's just weird. I don't know.
I actually didn't hate this segment though. I thought that mic work was fine, and I actually liked the Matt Cardona stuff. Even though it was weird.
Where does Hernandez fit into this?
And it's different. It's not right now. As of right now, it's not it's not the Major Brothers together. It's like
They're feuding now.
For now, it's not going to be that way for very much longer, though. I think.
Yeah, they're probably Matt Cardona's probably turning on Eddy.
Yeah, I wouldn't complain about that.
Each other. They have to be in the same company.
Yeah. Yeah, for some reason.
It didn't take them that long.
Yeah. I did like
Less than a year.
I did like Crazy Steve versus Larry D. Thought they had a pretty decent little match.
I had a decent match, but it was weird because
Yeah, it was weird.
Larry D.
Yeah.
He's like that.
Bro, this is like they call themselves Triple XXL. This should just be big. This should just be called Big Chungus Incorporated.
I just didn't hate this match though. It was pretty believable, and
Every time they come out to the ring and do the earthquake spot, big Chungus, Big Chungus, Big Chungus.
Didn't Nico's come up with that?
I believe so. Nico's adopted AC Romero or Ace Romero. I think the first time he ever saw him was Double or Nothing. He called him Big Chungus, and everybody just died.
Oh my god!
Didn't he perform that? Didn't he sing that song in one of the reviews, or am I just imagining that? I'm pretty sure I heard him sing that song.
Oh yeah, he said that song. Yeah, he sang that. That's where it comes from.
No, but I feel like I liked the match because it was pretty believable. And I like how they he worked over the hand to prevent the right hand, but it didn't really work out in the end. So I thought this was a pretty damn believable match, and it didn't really offend me. It was a match I just got to sit down and watch. It wasn't overbooked, and the other thing that's weird, and then they got scared of Rosemary after. I like the eyes that AC Romero had, his facial reaction when Rosemary got into the ring. I thought that was.
And by the way, why are they the heels when the team or the people that they're fighting were literally friends with the guy who murdered them and basically framed Larry D?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Ta-da!
I think
the baby faces.
Maybe because Crazy Steve is. I feel like because Crazy Steve. I can believe Crazy Steve's the babyface because he's kind of just not really involved with that part of the thing.
Like, I'm gonna miss about this whole thing with the murder mystery. I'm gonna miss Detective Chungus, dude.
Yeah. Yes.
I miss Detective Chungus. I love Detective Chungus.
So I'm not body shaming you, James, but
Sherlock Chungus on the case.
No, but James, I'm not body shaming you, but being a fan, how did it feel to see a fat guy as a detective? How did that feel?
Oh, dude, I love Ace Romero. You are doing us fat people proud, my friend.
The fatties unite.
Fatties unite!
But then Triple XL got interviewed backstage, and they say that they're not afraid of Rosemary, which is a bunch of lies, but they're heels, so they can lie about that type of stuff. But they're honorable men enough to not hurt a woman. So Tenille Dashwood comes up, and I think they made a 6-person intergender.
Yeah, she was so unconvincing, by the way. Yeah. Hold on. Let's talk about this. Let's break this down. Tenille comes in. Hi, it's me. And so timid and shy with fucking Caleb with a K. For some reason, he has a K. It was a C before, I guess. They're fucking coming in. She's just like, you guys can't hit a woman, but I have no problem hitting Rosemary. And she was so polite about it that you didn't believe her. At all.
Well, I also didn't believe it because I'm didn't you lose to Rosemary last week? So isn't this kind of over now? Didn't you lose to her 2 times in a row? You're done. It's over now. Do you have nothing else to do?
Dude, I guess her Instagram empire is not really taking off. So
yeah,
yeah, no one gives a fuck about it. That's why.
Chris ain't.
I mean, the gimmick's funny and everything. It's just when you're trying to be serious and you try to keep that gimmick, it doesn't work. It's so jarring, and nobody believes you when you say, "I can hit somebody." No, you can't.
Yeah.
No, you
all
can't.
the time.
You
How
do.
the fuck do I think that Tenille Dashwood could beat Rosemary if she can't beat anyone?
Exactly.
I
do
also
you remember
like-
when Neil Dashwood came into Impact at one point and was a fucking world beater? I miss those days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can we get those days back?
That was like 2 years ago.
I also liked,
Fuck you, Caleb with the K.
The best friends. Leave them alone. The best friends.
Yeah, sure they are. Dude, the whole gimmick, I will say they do play it off to a T in that it is absolutely the fakest friendship I've ever seen in my life.
I think that's I think that's the point, though.
That's the whole point. So
Yeah.
She's bound
props to them at least.
She is bound to turn at some point.
Mm-hmm.
I also really, even though we've seen the match done to death, it's so good. I like watching it. Rohit Wazoo and TJP just had a killer of a match this week.
Oh
That
my
was
god,
awesome.
dude. Rohit Raju is honestly so fucking good, man. Like, honest to God, I love every time I see one of these fucking Desi Head Squad members, I'm always fucking impressed every single time without fail.
Do you remember like
He
James
is like the shining star of this whole fucking group.
Do you remember James like? I don't think we were together, but we were talking about it like when we started reviewing Impact like weekly for the.
Yeah, we hated their gimmick. We hated their entrance. When they were in the ring, they were just like a final machine every time, dude.
Yeah.
Every.
Except Mahabali Shira, not him, but everybody else, yes.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, but he served his role. He was basically just the bad.
Yeah, I think he has a good role. Not everyone. But let's talk about.
Not everybody can be everybody can be the most professional wrestler. That's Brian Myers.
Yep. No, but I enjoyed the match, and I really liked the finish because it made a lot of sense. Where like they had, I even loved how like TJP went to do his thing, where like he goes under the ring and like dupes. Well, he was you, and he gets beaten down. Mahabali Shira coming back made so much sense because since they were in the group and stuff before, so I thought that made a whole lot of sense. And then he won with like some type of wrestling move. I don't remember what it was because I watched this a few days ago. So,
well, so the speaking of which, the guy we just mentioned, what was it?
Mahabali Shira.
Mahabali Shira comes out from under the ring, choke slams poor old TJB on the apron, and then Rohit Raju, he hits a wrestling move and wins. There you go.
Gets a couple of. Yeah.
I don't know. This match has been done to death. No matter.
Yeah, it has. But for some reason, I'm not sick of it yet.
Yeah.
You think I would be, but Rohit's just too good.
I want to see.
I think I would like to see the TJP and Chris Bay now. Like move on from Rohit for a little bit. But like,
I think they're trying to push Chris Bay right to the heavyweight title scene, which is why he's so intertwined with everything going on up there.
Yeah, that's true.
I feel like I could do with one more match with Rohit Raju versus TJP, but this time I think they should have either a ladder match or an Ultimate X match. I think that would sweeten the deal.
Either that, or make it like or bring back Lockdown, make it a steel cage match, and make that the blow off.
Yes, make it so Mahabali Shira can't get involved, which he will because it's cage matches and wrestling, and he'll always find a way to get involved.
If you make it the lethal Lockdown, he definitely can't get involved because they'd have to lower the roof, and therefore he can't, get out. Also, if you're gonna do a lethal Lockdown with the roof over the cage, make sure the fucking cage is high enough where you can have the roof down.
Yeah.
For the love of God, Impact.
Yeah.
Every time.
I also liked everything they did with Violent by Design and Cousin Jake, mainly because this week it was different. It wasn't the same thing we've been seeing all the time. I like how they're trying to recruit.
I love the promo, I will say.
Eric Young is like it's so crazy. WWE had Eric Young and had like no clue what to do with him. Except
this would have been Sanity if he had his way. This absolutely would have been what Sanity would be on the main roster.
Yeah, because NXT used him absolutely fine. Yeah, he's trying to recruit Cousin Jake, and Cousin Jake says he'll give an answer next week. I'm assuming what's going to happen, if I'm just guessing here, is that he's going to tease like he's going to join the group, but like lay out for Eric Young. He's not going to end up joining.
Personally, if honestly though, if I'm Because the breakout star of this whole team, in my opinion, is Joe Doring, Mr. Frowning Man himself. I think they should bring. I think they should bring Cousin Jake into the group anyway. Because I don't think you should have ever broken up the Deaners anyway.
Well, we'll find out next. Yeah, we'll find out next week.
Stay with them.
Chris, do you think he's Jordan? So, do you think he's Jordan? Or do you think he's gonna dupe everybody and not join the group?
He'll probably dupe everybody. I don't think that's a smart idea, though. In my opinion, I think they should
join the group and be Frowning Man number 2.
He could. He does. He could be Frowning Man number 2.
I can't say like the style of it's Joe Doring yet because I haven't seen enough of his work to really.
Oh my god, dude, he's too good. I love Joe Doring. That dude's just like Stan Hansen Chungus.
Why not just marry him then, since you love him so much?
Dude, this dude is a brutal motherfucker, and he frowns a lot, and it's a nice meme, okay? And I like it. Now I'm obsessed with Joe Doring. Star.
I can't think of him not as the Frowning Man.
Yeah,
we do gotta talk about this though, because I keep forgetting to bring this up, and I just remembered now, so I want to talk about it before I forget. It's the wisest thing to talk about how there's a disease in the world and we're the cure during what's going on in the world right now. It's the smartest thing to talk about that.
Well, I don't know. That's a good question.
That is a good question.
I'll say what I said. Kiss my ass. How about that?
Nope, that's not the cue yet. So.
No. Well, I'll say the cue then.
Let's talk about the continuation of the AEW takeover. There wasn't as much of one this week, but I didn't really have an issue with that because you can't do it every week because it gets stale. The Tony Khan ad with where him and Shivani were advertising beats. I just love how Tony Khan's just getting so cynical now. Like he's even talking about like how now he's mad he's making.
Tony looked drunk as fuck, by the way. I'm talking about Khan. He looked like he was just plastered.
Maybe he was.
And then you just have Tony Schiavone with the fucking shark hat and glasses looking like a fucking dope.
I love how he said that he's making emotional mistakes now by having John Moxley go to New Japan now. I really love how they're adding that.
I love that little tease for what we talk about later.
Yep.
Oh. Yeah. By the way, news on this. IWGP and New Japan still also being mentioned on Ring of Honor TV on Tuesday as well.
Let's just wait though. Let's wait and talk about it because there's an Instagram post that a certain wrestler made. So let's wait on that.
We'll talk later. But yes.
Also, but what else was I gonna? Yeah, I just love you haven't really been able to talk about them like on camera. What do you think of these AEW ads that Tony Schiavone and Tony Khan do every week? What do you think about them? You love them? You hate them? Like
I think they're good. I think they're funny.
They're always funny.
I loved at the beginning when Tony Schiavone was like, "Why don't you get in a real network and then we can talk?" Always like the funniest ones.
I love those. Dude.
I also love how they brought up that Schiavone was on like an episode of Impact. And he's like, "Yeah, that was just one episode," and then I left shortly afterwards.
And I left the business for like 18 years.
He literally was on one episode of TNA in 2003.
Yeah, it was like during the weekly pay-per-view era. Yeah.
Yeah, it was Percy Pringle, and it was Vince Russo, and they went out of the ring.
You know, after working with those guys, being a barista at Starbucks doesn't sound so bad.
I thought that was a fucking joke until I actually looked it up a few weeks ago. That he actually worked at Starbucks.
Yeah, let's talk about the main event.
I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, I thought that was a complete joke that Britt Baker was saying. I didn't know they actually worked at Starbucks.
Let's talk about the main. Let's talk about the main
event. I didn't even know he worked for TNA during 2003.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did. He was on one episode.
Let's talk about the main event angle on the show, though. It was everything that happened with Rich Swann and Tommy Dreamer. They're set to have a tag team match where they're going to team up to face Moose and Chris Bay. But backstage before that, they were kind of talking strategy, and Rich Swann said, like, let me handle this since I'm younger and can afford to take the pain. And then I loved how Dreamer got, like, a weird look on his face, like, after he said that.
Oh, my God. I love that.
It's such the trope, though. It's such the trope. Like, the baby faces are teaming together, they have a championship match, and they don't get along now all of a sudden.
I like the way they did it this time, though, Chris, because even though it is the same trope, the way they went about this trope was different because Swan was the kind of the asshole guy here, while Dreamer was like, I could still go, motherfucker. What are you talking about?
But I kind of like how he like wasn't trying to act like an asshole at the same time, though. Like he actually thought like he wasn't being an asshole. Like,
yeah.
Versus.
Yeah, he's.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to the match now because there was some dimension here for sure.
Yeah,
it's a lot different than like your stereotypical. All right, we have to team up, but I'm coming for that title, and then they eventually don't get along. They actually went about it in a different way, which I liked, instead of a fucking, oh, you have a title, so I say we're going to get along, but then we don't for some reason.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and then, afterwards, we had the match, and the match was, pretty damn good. And then they had some dissension where Moose went for the spear on Dreamer, but he moved and accidentally hit Rich Swann, who was legal, and Chris Bay held his leg down, and Moose pinned him. And I love how afterwards, like, Rich Swann, like, was like, Tommy, what happened? Like,
I love it. Absolutely love that.
Yeah, I like that they didn't, win because it's always weird, like, that the two people that are going for a title that can't get along still pull out the win. So it kind of shows, like, now it gives them the reason to hate each other. And they're going to bring up this thin on the contract signing when they have it this week. So I'm looking forward to that. What do you think of the tag team match? Let's start with Chris. Let's let Chris have his moment to shine.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I don't want my moment to shine.
I think, in other words, I think he's like, it was okay.
Yeah.
Move on.
Yeah, that's fine.
It did the job.
Yeah. Then before we move on, I actually forgot to talk about there were pretty important things on Impact. We had Hardy Party on again. It was kind of the same promo. That is something I'm getting sick of when it comes to these shows. Stop advertising like that the people are gonna be there and just having them backstage. Like, I get kind of sick of that because I think they'll actually come out and say something.
Yeah,
or do something.
Impact. It's an Impact problem, isn't it?
Yeah,
that's an Impact problem.
Because Kenny Omega, like, they've advertised a few times, and he never showed up in the arena.
Yeah, he was in his fucking trailer. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Enough of that.
Just don't advertise it.
Yeah.
Like, I get it, like, you're trying to, like, create buzz as to when the AEW guys are going to show up. But if they're not going to be on the show, like, at all, don't advertise it.
Yeah, don't advertise it. Like, it backstage is not the same thing as,
People
want to see them in the ring competing, or in the in-ring segment, or getting physical in some way. Like,
also, not for nothing, where the fuck's Alex Shelley?
He's like,
it's a serious, like, because he has an actual, like, real life job still. And
does he really?
Like a family physician or something or whatever. And he can't be an Impact. He can't wrestle until he gets the vaccine.
That's so bullshit. Hey,
that's just
Tony Khan, come in, hire Alex Shelley, put him back on Impact. That's ridiculous.
It's just what his he can't leave it. He can't leave where he is right now to go and wrestle because there's really no vaccine. So distribution. So not until he gets vaccinated.
Okay, so they can't give him they have the vaccine there. Why not just here's your vaccine? You can go back there now.
It's a really long it's a really long story that I did a really poor job of telling.
Especially too because I didn't expect to get asked that question, so I couldn't really explain it. So I thought
good on Chris Phoenix.
Yeah.
That's so bullshit. Yeah, Tony should just hire him outright then. Tony should hire him outright, sign him to a Dynamite contract, and just put him on Impact or something. That'd be how I solve the situation. But
I don't think it's that simple because I feel like it's his job that doesn't want him to appear versus like the company. So
if the guy millionaire with the TNT contract comes to buy you out, they don't really have much say.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm pointing out that's a solution that we can explore now. It's a realistic possibility that Tony could just say, "Hey, here's a contract. Go back to Impact." Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Anything's possible right now. So
Yeah.
what was the other thing that happened? Oh yeah, the James Storm Saban thing with Good Brothers.
Yeah. Pretty much they just set up a match for next week for the titles, because Gallows and Anderson didn't want to have the match like on the show because they wanted to save their energy for the Dynamite match. So
you know what I think they should do some interweaving storylines here. I think they should get James Storm involved in the Adam Page Matt Hardy thing.
Yeah.
Because I would love first off, it would accomplish two things. One, James Storm could be a mentor for Hangman Page. Two, it creates a tag team without it being an actual tag team. And three, it can elevate Page to be no longer this anxious guy and like more confident in going for the fucking main event.
Yeah, another thing that it doesn't really accomplish anything.
Storm can absolutely get freaking Cowboy shit over.
Another thing I would love to see is a couple things. I want to see James Storm on Dynamite would be awesome.
God. Yes.
And I would love to see Adam Page and James Storm just drink beers together. That would be cool.
That's what I'm saying, dude. There's so much possibilities with Storm and Hangman, and like eventually there'll be a legit tag team after Hangman's initial run, and then you could have a long-term thing for like 5 years with just those two, and that could be like Storm has one last great run with a tag team, because there's no better use of Storm than in a tag team. He's such a good tag team wrestler.
Oh yeah.
So you put him in with it at Page, bring in Joe Doring, Cowboy Industries. You got the upbeat James Storm, the millennial anxious Hangman Page, and the frowning man Jordan Doring.
Exactly.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Dude, it's every drunk ever.
Yeah, that was Impact. I thought it was a great show, actually. I might say,
all things considered, it was a great show, but there's still a lot of things that need to be fixed.
I'm giving this a B+ though. I enjoyed this show immensely. It's not.
I give it a B. It was a pretty good show.
Yeah.
Yeah, I give it a B+. It was good.
Now, before we talk about Dynamite, we should I don't know if I should pause the video here so that way we should talk about the update.
I'll hit the key word. Kiss my ass.
All right, now let's go over the updated code for Impact Wrestling No Surrender.
Oh shit! I forgot we had to predict that.
Well, not predicting it. I just want to say the updated code just so everybody knows.
Okay, updated card. There we go.
So we have a triple threat revolver to determine the number one contender for the X Division, for the Impact X Division Championship. It's going to be Ace Austin versus Blake Christian. I believe he had an impressive performance against in the Super X Cup, and he landed all the way to the finals. I believe that's who that is. Versus Chris Bay versus Davawi versus Josh Alexander versus Suicide.
Davawi?
Yeah, Davawi's been wrestling on Impact here and there.
Oh,
and he looks like he's hitting the gas.
Yep.
Hard.
But yeah, it's Ace Austin.
So he's on the Jinder Mahal diet?
Yeah. He's got a fucking 12-pack.
Yeah, but it's Ace Austin versus Blake Christian versus Chris Bay versus Davawi versus Josh Alexander versus Suicide versus Trey Miguel versus Willie Mack. I believe how this works, and I didn't do the research for it, but I did. I believe this is a battle royal that starts with 3 guys in the ring, and then so it's basically a Royal Rumble, and then when it comes down to the last few guys, it turns into an Ultimate X match or something. I believe that's how this works.
Are we sure? Are we sure it's not we sure it's not a gauntlet match or some shit?
That would be, yeah. I think it'd be a gauntlet too.
Yeah.
I thought it would be a gauntlet because when I think of triple threat revolver, I'm thinking, okay, one person gets eliminated, another person comes in after him.
We will find out when we review Impact next week.
Or it could be the greatest match in existence, the Reverse Battle Royal.
Oh yeah.
Don't even know. No.
But other matches on the show is Eddie Edwards and Matt Cardona versus Brian Myers and Hernandez. TJP will be defending his X Division title against Rohit Raju. The Good Brothers will be defending the Impact Tag titles against Private Party. And Rich Swan's defending the Impact World Championship against Tommy Dreamer. So that looks like a pretty damn good card right there.
Speaking of Good Brothers, they were a little naughty. Not this week, but last week. They kept making dick references all the time, so they keep editing it out. Every single time. They were making fucking, like,
these fucking clowns are the most immature guys in history of pro wrestling, and I love it.
Yep.
It's fucking hilarious. It was last week's, not the one that just happened, but the week previous to that, it was super heavily edited because they kept, like, doing, like, I think they said they were doing, like, jerk-off motions all the time, like, on the show for some reason.
When was this was on him?
In the freaking, I don't know, the fact that Doc Gallows humps the fucking title and acts like it's Magnum Schlong isn't enough.
His ultra cock.
It's ultra cock. The title fell. This is the only 10 pounds of gold I need.
Yeah, so that's the updated card though for Impact. No Surrender. It looks really damn
Hold
good.
on. What were you saying, Chris?
They're just so fucking stupidly funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God. Talking Shopomania, baby.
Let's talk about Dynamite now.
The worst fucking movie I've ever seen in my life, but that was the point. It was great.
So yeah, kiss my ass. Code word.
All right, so now let's talk about Dynamite for this week. So I didn't take notes for Dynamite because I forgot to because I suck at YouTube apparently now. So
yeah, you do.
I just forgot, man. I was so hyped up on the show, but don't worry.
And we're all in the same boat. We all suck at YouTube. Well, kind of. Do I suck at YouTube? I kind of suck at YouTube. Yeah.
Chris is. Hey, can't get any worse than Chris Dodd. He just shows up. That's it. So.
Yeah. I mean, at least
actually, Chris is the most successful because he has one job and he typically does it most of the time.
Yep. Just to show up.
I just show up.
He does show up.
Sometimes he doesn't even show up, which makes
Dude,
the whole
he's
show
the most professional podcaster. Did you not know?
I am. I'm always ready, so to speak.
Yep.
Talking to you, Matthew Cardona.
Yeah, let's talk about Dynamite.
Did you know he's the most professional podcaster? Looking at you, Brian of Myers.
Ville USA.
So let's talk about Dynamite for this week now. Well, last week. Since it's Sunday.
Stupendous show.
Tremendous. I only hated one thing. I only hated one.
What did you say, Chris? Hold on.
Well, technically, it's still this week because
it isn't yet. What do you mean? It's the weekend.
Yeah, but it won't be when I upload this video, probably. No one at YouTube.
Hey, I consider Sunday as the end of the actual week, not Saturday.
Yeah,
I never thought that made sense.
Yeah. But anyhow, let's talk about Dynamite Beach Break. It kicked off with the Tag Team Battle Royal, where we had all the tag teams except for SCU for some reason. Maybe because they're doing a storyline where if they lose, they have to break.
That was the smartest thing they could have done. They can't have them in there.
Yeah.
Because they couldn't win. SCU wasn't in there. FTR wasn't in there. They explained that for storyline reason.
Yeah. I really love the explanation.
Wheeler might be hurt, so that might explain a lot of it.
But I really love the explanation. Really shows that what you do in a wrestling win has consequences. So I really love that a lot. So
finally,
what happened to your lover boy there, Lunchosaurus?
Fortunately, he didn't have any. He didn't have his horns this week. So
he wasn't horny.
Nope.
He finally went flaccid, Chris.
But I think all the other teams. So Alex Reynolds and John Silver.
No, it went into an innie. It turned into an innie now, right? I don't know.
Alex Reynolds and John Silver took FTR's place. Did you watch the pre-show, by the way? Alex Reynolds and John Silver were freaking hilarious on the pre-show. They were hilarious.
I gotta watch this. I actually did hear about this. I just never got a chance. I never watched the pre-shows. I probably should though.
So it's only like 7 minutes. You gotta watch them. Not if 7, if that, like 3 minutes. So,
Yes.
but yeah,
Shows out there.
I really enjoyed this battle royal. Just go watch it. Some highlights though is the Good Brothers made an appearance and cost the Young Bucks and Private Party the match.
And Private Party.
Yeah.
They inadvertently cost the Young Bucks, supposedly.
Yeah, I at least we're meant to think so. Which I really like that because that kind of continues like that little program they have going on.
Oh
and
yeah.
Stuff.
The one thing that I did that I didn't like about this match was they couldn't at the beginning. They did a horrible job of explaining the rules of if your team got eliminated, if one person got eliminated, your team was eliminated. Because at one point, at the beginning,
That wasn't the case.
I forget who got eliminated.
I think the in AEW they do the tag battle royal right, where if one person's eliminated, your other teammate can still win it for your team.
But he's saying like he didn't think they did a good job of he didn't think the commentary team did a good job of explaining that rule. Like
they did an awful job of explaining it. They were like, if one person gets eliminated, then the team's eliminated. But I saw like,
but that's not the case.
Matt Jackson got tossed out on the ramp, and they cut elimination.
Nick Jackson was still in,
And Nick Jackson was still in. I'm like, but I thought Matt Jackson was eliminated, so the team is eliminated. Instead of saying, if one person gets eliminated, your team is not eliminated. They said that if one person gets eliminated, then your team is eliminated.
Oh, well.
One little nitpick.
We know the rules, right?
I like how they did that, though.
Yeah,
that's the way a team battle royal should be. If you're eliminated, your teammate's still in the match.
Yep.
That's
I also really like if you get eliminated, your whole fucking team gets eliminated.
Let's just call this what it really was, though. It was just Inner Circle versus the Dark Order and the Acclaimed.
Yeah.
It's exactly what it turned out.
But I want to talk about one other thing I like though is I love Luchasaurus' little one that he had in the battle royal. I thought that was absolutely awesome.
Big time.
I mean, you should expect that from me by this point because I love it when dinosaurs rule the nation. So,
I liked everything that was going on with the Inner Circle. That was like that's probably one of the more interesting storylines that's going on with
big time
right now.
Yeah, big time.
Another criticism I had.
They don't get along.
And it might just be on me because I'm not as familiar with Top Flight and the Acclaimed. I think Jungle Boy should have been the last babyface that got thrown out.
Which one? What? Jungle Boy?
Yeah, I think Jungle Boy should have been the last babyface that got thrown out.
Especially after that fucking awesome barn burner that he had with Dax Harwood.
Dante Martin, I think, last one left from Top Flight.
Yeah.
I believe. Yeah. No, yeah. He's not wrong, but I think they did it in a way to protect Jungle Boy, though. Because I don't think I'm pretty sure they're having a match at Revolution, Jurassic Express and FTR. I'm pretty sure they're having a match.
I think it's not ending anytime soon.
No way.
I agree with that, but I just thought he should have been the last guy since he's like the biggest stall than the Top Flight guy. So, especially too because he got eliminated like in a very unclimactic way, in my opinion. Jungle Boy, like he was just kind of out. So,
yeah.
No, but the Judas effect that Jericho got the eliminate. Oh, and also, I'm just going to keep saying it every week. Please just use Judas for Jericho and MJF's theme. Please, please, please. MJF and Jericho's theme song meshed together.
I said the same thing. I'm actually going to turn my statement back. I hate the intro. The rest of the song is
quick.
Yeah, the intro's awful. The song's actually mixed really well. It was like you could tell there was original like sound put into Jericho's theme overlaid to it. It wasn't just MJF's theme spliced straight into it. They actually put some original tune into it. So I was like, oh, okay.
Maybe what it is because I just
that intro's god awful.
Fix the intro because everyone in a song if the intro is crap, people are gonna tune out the rest of the song and think it's crap. So
That's getting soon because they teased it a little bit.
If you have an ear for music like I do, I mean, if you check my fucking channel out, you probably know this. You have to, I would at least pay attention to it. So pay attention to the rest of the song, minus the intro. What they should do is they should take the MJF "I'm better than you" or "We're better than you," and you know it. Combine those two clips and then put that as the intro, and then bam, straight into Judas.
Yeah, I'd be fine.
It's "We're better than you" and you know it, and then Judas.
Yep.
Instead of the really, really weird, fast-paced MJF intro,
which is god.
It's terrible.
The rest of the song, if you actually listen to it, is mixed beautifully. I'm pretty sure that's a Mikey Ruckus job there.
It is.
It had to be, because like there was original song in there. Like absolutely, there was original song there.
Yeah. Then backstage though, afterwards, Sammy Guevara walks backstage and just leaves as Jericho and MJF are celebrating. And backstage, Jericho goes to celebrate with some alcohol and stuff. And Sammy Guevara is upset because because in the match Jericho inadvertently eliminated him. Which did he really inadvertently eliminate him?
Yeah, well, inadvertent.
Yeah, and
I think it was inadvertent for Jericho, but
yeah. But I really like Sammy Guevara going off on him, talking about how we always have to take a hit for you and stuff, and just leaving, and then Jericho tries to go talk to him. And then I love MJF saying, we got to talk about something.
I pushes the camera out.
Yeah,
I love that. There's a reason why he always gets a cameraman now. Like it's to make him look good, but when he knows it will make him look bad, he pushes the cameraman out. Love the sleaziness of the MJF character.
As soon as he shut the door, pushed the cameraman out and shut the door, I was like, "You son of a bitch!"
Yep.
I was like, he's trying to get the Inner Circle to turn on Jericho.
And Guevara.
It's so good. It's such good heel work, man.
It is. But I think it's gonna be. I think it's gonna end up being the Les Sex Gods again. I think it's gonna be Jericho and Guevara.
I think
it's weird because this. Could you go the other way with it and have freaking Santana and Ortiz and Guevara be the one to leave, and then the Inner Circle?
I would like that too.
Yeah.
And then the Inner Circle is just Hager, Wardlow, MJF, and Jericho.
You could go that way too, or
I think it's going to be Jericho leaves the group, and because I feel like we need to face Jericho in AEW. He's faced all the heels all the faces pretty much as a heel. So I think he needs, and then also I think Guevara is going to leave because of the dissension. And I feel like since Wardlow would be the heavy of the Inner Circle, I think Hager is going to end up leaving the Inner Circle as well.
I think that'd be perfect. I think what you can do is you can have a naming like a feud between Jericho and MJF for the name the Inner Circle, and then maybe have MJF win it, and that's Wardlow and MJF are the Inner Circle with whoever else he brings in against the original.
Richard Holiday and Alexander Hammerstone, possibly.
That's what I'm saying. The Dynasty.
Yeah.
Be the new Inner Circle, and have Hager, Proud and Powerful, Jericho, and Guevara be like a new. Jericho's Clan. Not that name, but like have them be like a playoff in the Inner Circle or something like that. I couldn't even think of it.
Proud and Powerful? Just straight up?
Like that.
Yeah, I mean, they're all proud to be where they're from, wherever they're from.
And they're all powerful.
Their heritage, and they're all powerful individuals. So I guess that would actually work.
And that can be Blood and Guts. That can be the Blood and Guts match we were promised is the, Jericho's version of the Inner Circle versus like the Inner Circle with them.
Yeah, exactly. Like that'd be perfect.
Now I'm confused. Now what I'm curious is because at some point they got to revisit the whole thing. What do you do with the Bullet Club at that point? Because that's going to be a problem. Because you got the Inner Circle having their beef. Probably you're going to have some form of the club having their beef.
Yeah, I don't know.
There's.
What do you think it would be in that way though? Would you think?
Who knows?
Do you think it's the Young Bucks going back to reverting back to baby phases against heel Omega and the Good Brothers?
I could imagine that. I know that
Adam Hangman Page.
Yeah, Adam Page goes back with the Elite for sure, or at least the Young Bucks version of that. I know that. Yeah, I know that. The only thing that I realize is this: like, there's gonna be a lot of moving parts with every story that we're talking about here, and we'll get to why, obviously, towards the end. But nothing can be off the table now because originally, like, it was that one time, and now it's like every other special show they have some major thing happen. So nothing can be off the table at this point.
It's just like this whole thing is far from over.
Oh yeah, big time. But yeah, we'll see what happens with Inner Circle.
Yeah,
I'm definitely intrigued.
I'll continue with them. I want to talk about the one criticism I have of this show, and that's the whole Shaq segment they did to get to the Cody match. He was so bad in that.
I loved it. I loved it because of how awful it was. He's doing his own spinning backwards to the glass, and he looked like a fucking turtle, dude. Oh my god,
that was fucking funny.
So,
he did this when he did that spinning. Oh my god,
dude! But Shaq, let me explain something to you. Shaq and Jane Cargill are the best for all the worst reasons.
Oh, Jade Cargill paused after every sentence, like she's reading.
Oh my god!
Yeah,
dude.
It's bad.
Oh my god!
So you at least admit it's
Jane Cargill. She's fucking William Shatner of AEW.
Yep.
I am Jane Cargill.
But
I lift weights.
But you at least admit it's bad, though. At least you're not going to say it's good.
Yeah, it's fucking terrible, but it's entertaining as fuck.
The fact that
it's so bad, it's good.
The fact that it's literally a month away goes to show you how little they cared about this until the very end.
I'm so glad they didn't put this on Revolution like they were originally going to. So glad.
Absolutely.
Well, fucking happy they didn't do that.
Because there's a conflict of schedules.
Yeah. I am so glad
that weekend.
And I'm glad they did it this way because it makes the most sense anyway, because there would be a lot more eyes on Dynamite than there would be on the pay-per-view because people are going to pay $20 to see Shaq. They want to see him for free. And then if they're interested in everything else, hypothetically, that section of audience would then pay for the pay-per-view. It's actually, even though it's going to be a train wreck, it's actually brilliant marketing by Tony Khan. And hey, we get entertaining bad television out of it. So I can't fucking complain.
Depending on how Jade Cargill does in the ring, they could branch this off into a singles match between her and Red Velvet.
That's another thing. She may be awful on the mic. I'm not going to say she's going to be bad in the ring right off the bat after the whole Pat McAfee situation. I'm not looking like an idiot anymore and saying she's going to be awful.
Yeah.
I'm just going to say we'll see what happens from this point.
Because Pat McAfee was awesome. Yeah.
I don't know what she's like in the ring, but if she's halfway decent, I think Red Velvet could carry her to a halfway decent match at a pay-per-view.
Yeah,
Red Velvet's that good.
Yeah.
Yeah, Red Velvet's actually really good. Yeah.
The question we got to ask though is because me and Chris talked about it a little bit last week. I think we've seen like the overall problem with Cody. Cody has really nothing left to do in Dynamite now. He's feuded with basically everyone in AEW now. What does he do? What do you do with Cody after this?
That's it.
Well, I can tell you what you need to do. Turn your camera off and on again because you're frozen.
I'm guessing that happens a lot. I guess then that happens a lot on the Discord.
Yeah. All right. So luckily none of us are loading screens still. We're safe for now. I don't know. What you do with Cody is weird because it's like they're trying so hard to force this idea that he can never challenge for the world title again because of the whole MJF Jericho screw job.
Yeah.
But see, here's the thing. This is the only way I see this working, right? If they're not going to go with Hangman right away, or if they are going to go with Hangman right away, then this is what needs to happen with Cody. They have to bring him to the end. They have to bring him to go for the NWA title because now that's a possibility, and they have to do Nick Aldis versus Cody Rhodes.
It's not a possibility now.
Why?
Nick Aldis doesn't want to go to Dynamite. He says he has heat with Cody now.
What?
Yeah.
Is that legit?
Yeah, it's legit. He did an interview and everything.
Really?
Yeah.
He has
no interest in doing a Aldis Rhodes 3 because he's only focused on the NWA right now. That fledgling promotion. He's only focused on that.
Well, let me explain something to you, Aldis. You're a fucking moron, so
Yeah,
fuck
absolutely.
you. I'm about to save your career anyway. I'm going with my idea. I don't even care. Billy Corgan's gonna tell him, "Get the fuck over there. You're fucking fired." There we go. Problem solved. So my idea still stands.
And
they do all this Cody 3 against his will at this point because that's ridiculous that he even want nothing to do with them. You fucking pagan.
If he doesn't, I'll just say this before you say your idea. If he doesn't go over there, like he's screwing over the NWA. Like the NWA is
big time. You fucking idiot.
It's selfish.
It's selfish on every fucking plane conceivable. The whole reason why Billy Corgan, Tony Khan, whoever the president is of Bushi Road right now is working together in this capacity with God knows who else is because it's to save the wrestling industry right now in the midst of a pandemic.
Let's remember too, everyone's forgetting this. NWA Power never would have got off the ground without Cody Rhodes and the Young Bucks because of All In. That's
100%. 100%. The whole reason why we had so many choices back in 2019 was because of All In.
Yep.
This guy can't be this stupid. I'm sorry. It's one thing to burn a bridge with WWE. I get that because Bruce Pritchard's an idiot.
Yeah.
But apparently you're no better because you're willing to burn a bridge with AEW, quite arguably the second hottest promotion in North America right now, because you didn't like how they did business back in the day when clearly they've more than made up for it since then.
Yeah.
With your own company, with your women's championship.
Yep.
Fucking dope.
Remember it's Serena Deeb, the NWA Women's fucking champion?
Yeah. What about Thunder Rosa and Hikaru Shida having one of the best women's matches in AEW history?
I haven't seen it yet.
We're just going to forget about that?
And it's a fucking shame that it had to happen to begin with because that shows you how depleted, how much they didn't give a fuck about their own women's division.
Hey, but guess what? Guess what it did? It fucking helped the NWA big time, no?
Get a killer match.
And Aldis is not willing to have a killer match for the NWA title with Cody. He's only focused on the NWA. What show do you fucking have? The one that has that fledgling fucking promotion that is doing nothing for your streaming rights?
Yeah.
Because that's going nowhere fast. Last I checked, Jeff Meacham complained about how shitty your pay-per-view quality was last time.
Yeah.
You couldn't get onto the fucking thing. Nobody could. Shut the fuck up, Aldis, you fucking moron.
I'll be watching
I'm sorry. You would be hard pressed to be that stupid and burn a bridge because of some past bullshit shenanigan, which helped the wrestling industry anyway.
Yep.
From the bigger picture standpoint. So if I'm Billy Corgan, I'm telling him, get the fuck over there, or you can kiss that title goodbye and I'll give it to somebody else.
Yeah.
Whoever the NWA champion is, they're fighting Cody. Cody wins the belt, and then he drops the belt at some point after, Jericho, and then Jericho can have, he was like, you know what? You could go back on your word. And then they go for the MJF Jericho title match. Because I assume MJF's going to be the one to take the title from Paige anyway.
Yep.
So do that. Anyway, yeah, that was the long-winded explanation because I didn't expect all this was a fucking stupid moron.
Like, I can't believe how big of an idiot he is. Like he actually seems like a small businessman, and that's like the dumbest thing he could ever do. Like,
that's just, dude. If I'm Billy Corgan, I'm taking the belt off him.
Dumb.
I'm sorry. I know he's been a very good champion. I'm not even denying his in-ring ability. I think he's a hell of a fucking wrestler. That's why it infuriates me that he's just not taking the opportunity to have like dream matches with like an Okada or a Cody or even a Kenny or anybody.
Yeah, I'd love to see him. I would love to see him and Kenny go at it because the styles would be so different.
Dude, different styles always make for more interesting matchups, dude.
Yeah.
Anyway, that just infuriates me, man. Anyway, move on.
So this is what he said. He said the current NWA. So this is what it says. The current NWA World Champion has no interest in defending the championship on an AEW platform. He said in a recent interview he doesn't need to put it up against other belts to argue its validity and wants to focus solely on building the NWA. He also has apparent heat with Cody Rhodes, but has stated he didn't want to go into any further into it. He has said in previous interviews that he could never see in all this Rhodes 3 as they both went on the same page.
So he has fuck you. Put the belt on somebody else then. Put the belt on Tim Storm. Have him go against his word. Put it on him. Guarantee he'll go to Dynamite with the belt.
Absolutely.
Fucking God. I'm sorry. I'm actually flabbergasted. Like, oh my God. It's so stupid. He's throwing away legitimately. This is basically what's happening. He's burning a bridge because he heard what fucking Cornette probably said. And now he's basically burning a bridge so fucking bad that they're going to strip the title off him, put it on somebody else, and he's going to have no fucking choice but to go to the WWE at that point. Why would you do that? You fucking moron. Why would you do that?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I mean, it's insane.
But they're wrong. Like, that's exactly what's going to happen to him now because he won't fucking work with Cody for whatever reason.
It's stupid.
And I'll say this, if he doesn't do it and he ends up like getting jobbed out in WWE, I won't feel bad for him.
No, honestly, I won't either. That's really how he feels, then sorry, dude. You kind of got what you fucking asked for at that point. I can only feel sorry for you so much if you're not going to work with, the guys that are like the hottest in the industry right now. And by the way, you could have the pull to win the matches and retain your belt. That's the stupidest part of this whole thing.
Yeah. But what's Cody doing? He's having another match with Peter Avalon.
Yep.
Well, in fairness, at least it makes way more storyline sense this time. But that's
because
talk about Peter Avalon.
That explains everything why Cody has been in freaking limbo recently.
Yeah.
Now that makes all the sense in the fucking world. I hope to God this is an angle, by the way.
Yeah, same.
God, I hope this is an angle because, this cannot be real. This would be the stupidest business decision of Nick Aldis's fucking career.
It
yes.
really is. but I don't think it is at the same time. I don't think it is like a. I just don't think it's a storyline. I think it's legit.
So stupid. That's so dumb. All right, move on. Before I get more stuff, I'm gonna be dwelling on this fucking pagan for like the whole show now.
Let's talk about something that was like really good in this show. The Hangman Adam Page and Matt Hardy match versus Chaos Project. I really enjoyed that match.
Yeah, that was actually surprisingly enjoyable.
I like that it wasn't like an overly competitive match. It was competitive enough, but like Hardy and Page didn't look stupid.
They just glorified enhancement match. That's what this was.
But I really like how Matt Hardy took the credit for the win, and Hardy's trying to recruit Heyman Adam Page to the Matt Hardy brand and stuff. And I really like the backstage segment they had together where like Heyman Adam Page agreed to the match and stuff, and Hardy used the fact that they interrupted -1's like surprise party to kind of get him to agree to the match. I also just really like the fact that this is more like Heyman and Page have trust issues with everybody and stuff like that too. Like they're really kind of getting that over.
I love how they're furthering that storyline with Hangman along.
Keeps them on TV too. We don't have to have them go for belts or nothing. Really, this gets a couple of thumbs.
Thumbs up.
Thumbs up variety.
What did you think of that tag team match?
I thought it was good. Again, like it's further. They're trying to bring Adam Page into like their group. Matt Hardy is, and the Dark Order want him. Hardy Party wants him. It's like I kind of like it. I kind of like how he's like being the lone wolf, but at the same time, it's like whenever he's given like an invitation to go somewhere, he goes there.
Yeah.
Like Matt Hardy let him into his locker room. He took him up on the offer.
Yeah.
But then he was trying to manipulate him to try to get him to join his little faction.
I also really like
it's like multiple layers of storytelling in 1 second.
It's fucking great.
I also really like how they brought up the history, how like 10 years ago or something, Heyman Adam Page and him like teamed up.
There was so much continuity here because like no other wrestling company would bring this much history in that, and not to mention the fact that there was the short-term history with the whole Dark Order thing, and then Hardy invited them to his trailer, which was a new development. And they bring up the whole thing from 10 years ago, and then they're like, hey, let's beat up Chaos Project, the guy that ruined -1's birthday. And Adam Page really, really adores -1. Everybody adores -1. And so, like, they brought that little bit up, too. I love that they're just consistent. They're consistent.
They even brought up Stadium Stampede.
Oh, my God. It was refreshing. Like, they don't forget their history. They don't just pretend, like, because Matt Hardy's a heel now, they don't, disregard the history. I love that.
Yeah, exactly. I like that.
It furthers that story even more going to the past in this sense, by the way.
I also, since we're talking about matches and stuff, I really love Thunder Rosa versus Britt Baker. I thought that was a hell of a match.
That was a hell of a match. That was really good.
I mean, I haven't seen like Thunder Rosa versus Hikaru Shida yet at All Out and stuff, but this was like the best women's match I've seen on Dynamite in a long ass time. I think since like Nyla Rose versus Hikaru Shida at Double or Nothing.
Yeah. Before we even get to that, I just figured out who could fucking basically take the belt off all this. And a guy you probably have no problem working with, if he really feels that strongly about not working with Cody, fucking Hangman. Be a hell of a match. I'd watch it.
Yeah.
I'd watch it.
I think he would like that.
If you do the idea of having Storm kind of interject himself with this whole Hardy thing and him be the real mentor for Adam Page and elevate him, he's still technically signed with NWA. He's not actually signed with Impact. This could work in the favor of getting the belt off Aldis if he feels that strongly, getting the belt on Hangman and making the NWA's presence known on AEW. And
not just AEW, being the elite.
Yeah. And here's another thing. You want the belt collector gimmick, right? Maybe you do Hangman versus Kenny Omega down the road. Maybe somebody else takes the NWA title off of Omega, but Omega beats Hangman.
Yep.
Remember too that whole James Storm thing. Because since AEW is so good with continuity, Nick Aldis like screwed over James Storm out of the NWA title too. So having him like so that would make a whole lot of sense. Because if you remember, like,
oh my God, yeah.
Strictly Business got formed, because of all the with the James Storm Nick Aldis match from Hard Times and stuff like that. So
yeah, I didn't even think about that. Jeez, and Storm could be the one also if you really want to make it go full circle to take the belt off Omega.
Yeah.
Because I assume it's only going to be like a one-shot thing where Kenny has like a bunch of titles.
Yeah.
But, there's a lot, dude. There's a lot. We'll get to it at the end. But, yeah, I just wanted to bring that up, that if Aldis won't represent NWA, I'm sure Billy Corgan will have no problem having Hangman do it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And, Heyman and Page could show up on, like, those primetime live things, whatever they're doing, and like wrestle some of the guys there and stuff. So
just bring Power back at this point. Fuck me, I hate primetime. They're the worst provider. Ever since they joined primetime, their quality has drastically gone down.
What's it like? What's awful. It like? I haven't watched an episode yet.
You don't want to see it. Trust me. If they just go back to Power in their original studio, they'll be fine. I'd much rather that at this point.
You can tell me how bad it is.
I'd much rather that than what they're fucking doing with fucking primetime.
Yeah, but let's get back to the Thunder Rosa Britt Baker match. Yeah, it was really damn good. I really love how they protected Thunder Rosa in defeat by having her go into the exposed turnbuckle and not have a tap to the lockjaw, but have a pass out to actually she didn't even pass out to the lockjaw itself. She was already out before then. So
and we must say right now that it is absolutely the best match of Britt Baker's career.
Yes.
100%. This was such a great performance on her end as well. It wasn't just all Thunder Rosa here.
Yeah.
And you could tell.
And then the tournament's coming up. I really am looking forward to watching the tournament, and I like that it's happening on Dynamite, where the women's tag tournament should have been.
I will say something. I will say there's a big missed opportunity here. So, for those who don't know, a lot of these women that are on the Japan side are from Stardom, which is a Bushiroad property.
Yeah.
That should have been like fucking exemplified massively. That's number one. Number two, they really missed a chance to just have a fucking big ass tournament, like 32 women, and have 4 companies represented in it. NWA women, Impact Knockouts, the Stardom, Bushiroad women, and the AEW women. I wish they did that. I think it would have made way more sense if they did that, because then your possibilities are endless. You could even probably bring in a Tessa Blanchard at this point. That would be the perfect time if you did it that way.
I hate to say it though, James. I hate to say it, James. I think there's only like 3 women left in the NWA.
Yeah, but it's not to say they couldn't get more, right?
And one of them's basically signed a Dynamite by this point, or AEW.
Serena Deeb, right? Serena Deeb, Allison Kay.
Thunder Rosa. I was talking about Thunder Rosa.
Well,
she's basically going to be with AEW when a NWA contract's done.
Like you could bring in some women to bolster up that roster, because it's not that Dynamite's lacking women, by the way.
No.
Point that out. I don't know why they don't have the better women's title matches with all the women they've signed recently.
Yeah.
But they can't put women over there. Impact could probably use a few women to go over there too, so they can make an NWA side if they really wanted to. Technically, ODB is still also technically a part of the NWA. She's not actually signed with Impact. She's a fucking free agent. Yeah. So to the NWA side, there's so much possibility there. And I feel like they kind of dropped the ball because Kenny Omega's obsessed with Joshi wrestling.
Yeah.
Which, don't get me wrong, it's not bad. It's just that there was a lot more you could have done.
Well, I think it's also the thing. It's also the thing too. Like the women's division needs like star power, and it doesn't really have a lot of star power. Like the biggest star in the women's tournament is probably Britt Baker, but no one outside of nobody outside of people who don't watch Dynamite wouldn't know who Britt Baker was. Probably they probably would know it was like the chick that overreacted when Adam Cole got dropped at War Games almost a year ago. So.
Well, I mean, I will say that that's a weird possibility, but I could actually see them sign Ronda since Ronda isn't signing back with WWE. Her contract is up, in April? They don't have any plans to re-sign her or give her a new deal because of the whole Cain Velasquez selfie situation. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, are you serious? You dumbasses.
Tony Schiavone has said that they can't afford Brock, and they might not be able to afford Wanda. If they can't afford Brock, I think Wanda would ask for almost the same amount.
AEW can't. TNT or Warner Media can.
You're always thinking, James. You're always thinking. So,
some of these ideas are pretty decent. You can't deny that. They should go to the network. Am I wrong? To get some of these big stars, like, hey, Warner, can you go, because we don't have the best money. You want big rating? Can you get this person sign up to a Warner contract?
Well, I think the problem is though, didn't back in the summer TNT fire the guy though that's actually the fan of Dynamite, so they might not have that stroke as much as they did before.
Even the new guy, he's not a wrestling fan, but he loves the Dynamite ratings that they're pulling in.
Oh, right, so maybe they
watch Shaq on there.
And Snoop Dogg.
Snoop Dogg, definitely. Yeah,
they're huge on Dynamite right now. Trust me.
Because isn't Cody too like a full-on judge on Snoop's show? I thought that was a one-time thing. Isn't he fully on a full-time judge?
Yeah, he is. Yep. Full-time judge. By the way, you could also probably since he's contracted by Warner, bring him over as a manager for Private Party after this whole Hardy deal is done.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, I would love.
He actually is a really good manager, so long as he's not just standing there.
I would love it for Snoop to rap.
Stand there, look stupid.
Yeah,
I would love it for Snoop to rap a Private Party song too. I think that would actually work.
Not fucking rap over my downstate, you motherfucker.
Let me look up. Let's look up who's going to be in this women's tournament, though.
Yeah.
I'll probably not be able to say half these names, but I'm going to try. I know Layla Hirsch is in it. I know.
Hold on, let me get it up. I got it.
Okay,
AEW Women's Eliminator. Oh, hey, right, first thing. Okay. Full lineup, Bleeding Cool. This is coming from bleedingcool.com.
Why are you bleeding cool? Why not bleeding hot? Why not bleeding?
All right, so on the Japan side, we got Asia Kong, Yuka
Sakazaki.
I think he spelled it Yula Sakazaki. Clearly, that was a typo. But yeah, Asia Khan, Yuka Sakazaki, Vinny, Emi Sakura, Rio Mitsunami. If you remember Rio, she was in she was
the first champ.
Rio Mitsunami appeared on the Double or Nothing show, the first one that they did as the official AEW show company. Mei Segura, Ren Kedakura. I love how the ad block shit.
Oh, great. Fantastic. Yeah. Keep blocking them.
Absolutely love it.
You love the ad blocks, Chris. Don't you love them?
Nakito, who may be the firecracker of this whole Japan side, because first tweet she wrote after being announced for the tournament was, "I'm here, motherfuckers." I was like, okay, you're here.
She's
All right,
fucking
I'm gonna check you out then.
I'll be paying attention to you.
She's fucking hilarious. She's fucking crazy.
I love it. Check out Maki Ito because I think she'll be the firecracker of this whole Japanese side. On the American side, Serena Deeb, Riho for some reason, Dr. Britt Baker, Tay Conti, Thunder Rosa, Nyla Rose, Anna Jay, and Layla Hirsch. Now, I want to point out that because this is another reason why I said they should have just included 4 companies instead of doing the American Japan. Riho, Tay Conti, Thunder Rosa, and Layla Hirsch are in no way American at all.
Maybe they mean like they currently live in America.
Not Rio.
Not Rio. Exactly. So that's null and void.
That made no sense.
So the question I have though is are they gonna just tape some of these matches in Japan? Are they gonna tape them on Dynamite? Are they gonna? Because obviously because of the whole pandemic, then they clearly can't. They have to have like them stay there for 2 weeks and all that. You know, like quarantine for 2 weeks.
Yeah. Sheeta just went back home to Japan, so
that explains why we haven't seen Sheeta then.
Yeah, but Sheeta will be coming back at some point, I'm sure.
Not for like what, a month?
Yeah, she'll be back by Revolution, I'm sure.
Yeah,
that much is true.
Let's talk about though. Well, is there anything else you want to talk about? Because
that's it.
Let's talk about the wedding. I liked the wedding. I thought it was good. I was a bit disappointed by it. I think me and Chris had our expectations too high because we were pitching things we wanted to see from the wedding, but we didn't really get them.
Mitchell.
Yeah,
James Mitchell there.
That was kind of fun. I laughed my ass off when I saw him like preside in the wedding. That was awesome.
Dude, and by the way, more AEW Impact partnership deals here.
Yep. Because he was just recently on Impact.
Yeah, I didn't even think that for a second.
Oh my! Wait a fucking minute. What if Penelope Ford was the fucking murderer all along? And
That'd
not
be great.
That's a far stretch.
It's a far stretch, but that would be different.
Yeah.
Both were hosted by James Mitchell. There's some continuity there.
They've already basically said that Taya was the one that did it. She had.
Yeah, I thought that was.
They already ended that storyline. So.
Yeah.
Hey, it doesn't mean you can't change the ending just because somebody confirmed it. So who knows?
Yeah, no.
How about this one? I wish Johnny Bravo died. Okay, I don't like character's awful. Just as much Johnny Swingers' character is awful. I like the human being. Human being's okay. Just the character sucks.
Remember when he was a ref?
I do.
Yeah.
Do you guys? I know. Stop lying to me, guys. You really want to see Johnny Swinner show up on Dynamite one day? You want to see that?
Turn off the television in a heartbeat.
Do you know what I want to see? Main event of Impact. Johnny Swinger versus Johnny Bravo.
That'd be the worst match ever.
With the most professional wrestler as the special guest referee.
And the timekeeper, Father James Mitchell.
And the special guest enforcer. and the fans in attendance.
That's
and
not there.
And the ring skirt. And the ring apron. And the turnbuckle. And the barricades. It's all going to be Brian Myers. Because he is Impact Wrestling. And he's always ready.
Brian Myers is going to be in every part of the show. Literally, the screen would just be filled with Brian Myers.
Everything. The commentators. The commentators table, the video board. He's everything is going to be Brian Myers. That's all you're going to see. It's just
Move on, please.
No,
it's just Brian Myers. That's all you're going to see.
I'd watch that show relentlessly. I wouldn't even watch anything else ever.
And every theme song for the show is "I'm professional and you know it."
Should we keep talking about the wedding?
Yeah.
It was a wedding. For some reason, it went off without a hitch right up until after they did the marital vows and they kissed and they made it official.
I laughed at some of the stuff they said, though.
Yeah, but why is Jerry Lynn all of a sudden Penelope Ford's dad? Is that real?
No, it's not. It's just because
Why was he there?
It's just because their family is going to be there.
Yep.
So her
Was
dad
that a real wedding, by the way? I'm hearing reports that it was legitimate.
Their family's going to be there too. Also.
Okay, so this was legitimately a precursor to the wedding.
They had their wedding like 2 days before.
Oh, okay. So they actually got married before.
They actually got married previous, but their family couldn't be there to watch them get married.
So they decided let's have a funny wedding on TV.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they told them basically just to watch the wedding that was going to happen on AEW.
So that's probably why, like, the wedding itself
was not a good idea for some of those family members. They're probably like, "Why is he saying grope on television?"
That was the weirdest like vows.
Penelope just like, don't worry. It's pro wrestling. So you don't have to understand it.
But
just know you saw something.
When he said grope, was I the only one that thought, did I hear that right?
Yeah.
You may now grope the bride.
You may now kiss the ball and chain.
Yo.
Fucking love James Mitchell, man.
And then afterwards, Miro tries to do a toast, and I love how they kind of reference the fact that he's been a part of so many wrestling weddings, because I didn't really think of that until like I saw a picture of it come up like a few days later, like how many wrestling weddings he's really been involved in. So I really like that they kept talking about it. Miro, Rusev.
Oh yeah, I love how they see. They even recognize the WWE history, basically.
Yeah. And then I love how he asked. They basically referenced the song "What Is Love" because he would say "What is love," and the crowd would start singing that song. So eventually, he just went with it.
Don't hurt me, no more.
And then he just said, "Yeah, that's enough." And then he got paranoid that. Then he got paranoid that there was a present there that wasn't supposed to be there, so he tore it open.
Just threw it over, and then that's when they said, "They don't hurt me." Meanwhile, somehow Chuck was able to get away with handcuffing his ankle to the ring post.
I thought that was creative. I thought that was like very different.
Yeah, it was different.
And then Orange Cassidy came out from above the cake after Penelope got shoved by, who was it? Fucking
Kip.
It might have been Chuck, and then Penelope went face first into the cake.
Yeah.
And then Orange Cassidy came up and
hit like a sunset, hit the sunset driver on Kip Sabian. So
no, it was beach break.
A beach break.
Well, Tony Nese hits it.
Fucking hilarious because that is the name of his finisher and that's the name of the special.
Well, when Tony Nese hits it, he calls it the sunset driver, and it's the same move, so that's what I knew it as. So,
well, sunset driver, beach break. You see a sunset on a beach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I like this a lot, and I mean, I still think that they kind of like didn't get as much uses out of the Butler deal because like they only did it like for 3 weeks. I thought that could have been really.
I was thinking just brought Ty into Dynamite. Honestly, just have her tag Mitchell and then have everything else go on.
Yeah, that would have been cool.
It would have just been nice to see her just get back at Mitchell, you know?
Yeah.
Like somebody post her bail or something.
And then
wrestling, who cares, you know?
Also, yeah, so
with it by post bail.
I thought the wedding got like 1 thumb up, not 2, but just 1 thumb up. Maybe like a thumb, maybe a thumb up, like going like this way, like not quite a thumb up, like almost there, like.
It was okay.
Yeah.
I give it 15 thumbs up.
At least it wasn't a shitty fucking put together wedding.
No, It was actually. They didn't do like the WWE trope where someone hides in the gift.
Yeah.
They did the wedding one, like the cake where Randy Orton was in the cake. Yeah. Like they did something like at least different.
Yes.
I loved for some strange reason Excalibur's reaction because it was like his first wrestling wedding, and then he would say, That's not tears, by the way. That's just sand in my eye. Like, I really just enjoyed his commentary there. Like,
Absolutely loved, yeah. And then JR and just both JR and fucking Excalibur both making a farce of the whole thing.
I really love JR too. Like, he was even like, I don't want to talk about he didn't even want to like talk about the wedding when they were like hyping it up. He was like, I don't want to talk about the wedding. Like,
dude, the fact that him and Excalibur just both kind of agreed, it's just like, hey, let's get it over with. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
Forget about
I like
it.
them on commentary together. Like, they're great.
they're fantastic.
I love Lance Archer versus Eddie Kingston.
Even though it was randomly put together, I didn't even remember this being announced after their. I knew they would have had to have it off anyway.
I remembered.
I didn't expect it to be rushed this quick. I guess they had to in hindsight now, but you know, they did this lumberjack match. It was chaotic as fuck. Their country got some shine, and Lance Archer wins with the blackout or whatever the fuck it is called.
No issues at all. Not one issue. Nothing.
What if I have all the issues with it?
Go ahead.
What is it?
Good. It was good. That's
Good.
the issue.
Okay. There we go.
I have an issue with it, actually. It's a weird issue, but it's an issue.
It was so good that it made me mad.
I have an issue.
I
was
mad because it was over.
Yeah, right.
I have an issue with it.
Go.
My sister's fiance is not an Eddie Kingston fan because he's from New York. And he doesn't like anything from New York. Because, you know, Yankees and all that. Except the Mets. He likes the Mets. That's it. So he said last week.
I swear it's 2020. Aren't we far past the whole Boston versus New York fucking?
No,
No.
I am not.
But I have an issue.
Eddie Kingston is not playing for the Yankees.
Yeah, but he says he acts like a New Yorker, which is why he doesn't like him. So,
Oh my.
So I'm gonna tell you, this had been the match last week because he wouldn't watch Dynamite anymore, and he said he was actually enjoying it in Dynamite, but because Eddie Kingston won last week, that you know he wouldn't watch anymore, and I could have watched Beach Break live because he would have watched it with me.
Dude, people suck anyway, and will not watch people's shit for the stupidest reasons. So,
Yeah.
to the simple-minded people, bye. Right? Whatever.
Other good things on this show, I really enjoyed the Stin, Darby Allin, Team Taz segment. I do think
although it was weird that everything was great about it. Even the Taz promo was great about it. Sting's promo where he told Ricky Starks to take a closer look into his eyes, where he was just fucking stone faced. Great. Why the fuck did Brian Cage have his shirt off if he was barred from the building?
He wants to show off his muscles.
But he didn't at a House of Glory show where it was the summer in Brooklyn and he had a sleeveless shirt.
Don't question why Brian Myers doesn't take his shirt off.
Cage.
Sorry, we've been talking about so much about him.
Talk about Brian Myers like that, the GOAT.
Listen, Brian Cage would eat Brian Myers and his professionalism for lunch. Okay.
I do think it's kind of weird though that Joey Janela is getting the TNT title shot. He just kind of seems like he's a random fit. Like I feel like Ricky Starks should get.
Well, I mean that's the one title that you can get away with having random matchups with because you don't want it for the world title, so TNT fills that spot. So there you go. I can't stand Joey Janela right now in the ring because he is long past the days of the match he had with Omega.
And Joey Janela.
Oh,
Get Brian Myers in there against Darby Allin. That would put the asses in the. Well, actually,
I would actually watch that. I'd actually watch that over this fucking thing. Because how many times do we have to see Darby Allin versus Joey Janela when Darby's a far bigger star now than Janela is?
Oh yeah.
Did you see the shot that Darby Allin took on Joey Janela on it social media. How he talked about how like when he debuted for the company, he was main event in the show against Moxley at Fyter Fest.
Yeah.
And now look where he is. Look where Joey Janela is now.
Yeah, dude, his matches with Adam Page and fucking John Moxley, Kenny Omega, they're far gone now.
Yeah.
Even the fucking triple threat match that he had with Jimmy Havoc and Darby, like far from those days now.
Oh yeah,
I remember when Joey was like a must get, and now he's just awful. Like I don't know what happened between him and Penelope, but ever since that happened, he's gone way downhill.
Yeah.
And he has not recovered since. Like, I hope he proves me the fuck wrong, but my fuck, like,
I feel like Darby
this
Allin. I feel like no matter what we say next week, though, I feel like Darby Allin's going to carry him to a great match, though.
Oh yeah, there's no question about that. Darby Allin's too good, dude. Like Darby Allin just.
Oh, question. I know. How is Chris Jericho doing on your 6? Because you said you were going to give him 6 weeks. How's he doing on his 6 week then? Because he's had 2 matches.
More than made up for it last week.
Good.
Did a lion saw. Looked at everybody. Fuck you all.
So,
to everybody else.
But so is the 6 weeks over now? Like, or does he still need to pass?
I'm still gonna continue the 6 weeks because one performance isn't gonna convince me.
What if he has like?
I'm worried for Jericho, man, because like if he botches that again, like it could be a Ryu Hayabusa situation. I don't want to see that.
So what if he botches the 6? What if he does really well, like has 5-star matches for 5 weeks, and then he just botches? Then
I'm gonna tell him, go until whenever the fuck you want to go. Just
but then the 6th week he's really bad, just in spite of you. 6th week he's bad. He sucks.
I'll take that. I'll give him a pass at that point.
Better.
Since 3 is half of 6, what if he's good in 3 of the matches, but is really bad in the 6th match? No, in the other 3 matches. What happens then?
I mean, I would probably be worried. Probably.
What if he's good in like? What if he's like bad in 5 matches, but he's doing it on purpose just to?
I don't fucking. If he's bad, I don't know, Owen, man. If he's doing it on purpose, what does it prove? That's all I say.
Everything.
Me and Chris have been having a field day about this type of stuff. Like for like, I had told Chris about this, and we just been having a riot about it.
Listen, okay, he almost destroyed his neck. I don't want to see that. I'm scared. Okay.
What if he just had too much of the bubbly that night, though? You don't know if it was cardio issues.
Drinking and go on a cardio diet and a keto diet and do DDPY. Maybe that's what he needs to do. That's all I'm saying.
And let's talk about the main event of
doing good so far. That's all I'm saying.
Let's talk about but technically it was a battle royal though. Does a battle royal really count? You're not really doing much in a battle royal.
Yeah, we'll skip a week.
Yeah, skip a week. Let's talk about the last match. I don't want to say main event because that would make Chris scared.
Oh.
The last match on Dynamite. It was the Good Brothers and Kenny Omega versus Pac, John Moxley, and Ray Phoenix.
This was leagues above everything else on the 2 shows. Not that everything else was bad, by the way, but this was a main event level spot. This match for television. Absolutely perfect. Right amount of time. They fucking got all their shit in. They all looked like big main event stars that deserved this spot. Every single one of them. Everybody just looked tremendous here. And even Don Callis, great on commentary for once.
I feel like he didn't really add much to commentary to me. Like he was good, but like I thought he should have been like more overbearing than he was. Just because like he's a heel.
I don't like when it's just so overbearing that it's toxic. I like that he gave Pac credit when he deserved to get credit. Moxley, same thing. And even though he was rooting for Omega clearly, he was putting over the other guys' strengths and weaknesses of their character. Yeah. I love that. I absolutely love that. And the way he did it was so professional.
Every now and then he'd say like, John Moxley is a great professional wrestler.
Yeah, and he would also say he's also a loner and he's not used to tag matches like this, and absolutely factual.
Yeah.
Like he even said, I hate to admit it, Dom, but you're right. It's like, of course I'm right. It reminded me of like a more professional Bob Eaton, the way he was acting on commentary.
I like how the right guy got pinned in the match because it made sense because Ray Phoenix's stock isn't as high as Pax and John Moxley's. But him taking the loss, I actually think his stock's elevated just by being in this match alone.
Yeah, big time.
I really liked, how anyone could have won the match at any point. And then obviously, let's talk, the end was awesome. So everyone just starts beating the crap out of each other. Moxley's going to get ready to get his hands on Omega, and all of a sudden, a guy in a hood, we don't know who it is, comes out and attacks John Moxley. And he takes
from
off
behind, straight to the back of the skull, and then he unmasks and disrobes his hood after Archer has beaten down everybody else.
Yep.
It's fucking Kenta. I just about lost my fucking shit. I was like, no way.
Yep.
Holy fuck. Holy shit. What a fucking surprise, dude.
Lays him out with the GTS, and I really loved it because they told us why Kenta was there, talking about how he has the briefcase to challenge for the IWGP United States Championship. And
he's like, and then Don Callis then goes, it's funny how these things happen while we're here, huh?
Yeah.
And then Jay just cackling after Don Callis says that because he's like, oh, this is fucking awesome.
Yeah.
The cackle. Oh my God, what a way to close out the show. By the way, for those who are trying to say that Lance Archer made no sense in this, the situation with Pac and the way they tied it in.
Yeah.
So there you go. Everything was tied beautifully here.
It did.
And then they released the image of an unsanctioned Falls Count Anywhere match. I believe they're saying lights out, but I don't know if they could say that on TNT because of, history of that. Kenta and Kenny versus Archer and Moxley, the four main guys of this whole triangle. Three of which for that IWGP US Championship. Don't forget, there's some history with Archer and Moxley.
Yep.
You got to remember, and also I think the best thing about it, on the graphic, Moxley had the IWGP United States.
I was nuts. I couldn't believe they had that graphic. I'm like, yep, this is legit.
He's coming out with,
and the news coming out of that, there actually is a working relationship now between them.
Yeah.
Thank Christ.
The new owner who came in like a year ago or so.
Yeah.
He wants to do a partnership.
Dude, it's really. I'm so glad the other guy left because this was so perfect.
The other guy was against it because he didn't really, because I think he
never saw any value in the unbox, and clearly he was wrong.
He was upset that all of them left too.
Yeah.
So there was some resentment there, and now it looks like that's the new guy came in and they hammered this out.
There is so much here. Could you imagine, right? Just to say that this whole belt collector thing with Omega goes down. Say he wins the NWA title. That means he would have 3 championships. Say you have Coda beat Page for some reason because Omega screws him out thinking he's helping his golden lover.
Yeah.
But Coda basically says, I ain't joining your fucking clique. And that starts the match between the triple champ Ibushi and the triple champ Omega.
One thing I think is definitely happening is Kenta's gonna cash in that briefcase at Revolution against Moss for the IWGP US Championship.
Oh, it would be amazing. You have no idea how amazing that would be. By the way, one little piece of this, there's actually a couple pieces of this puzzle I want to bring up too. So I already mentioned the whole AAA portion of this. There's a lot of intertwining pieces here. So AEW is currently in a working relationship with NWA, Impact Wrestling, and New Japan. New Japan, whether Aldis wants to like it or not, also has a working relationship with the NWA and Ring of Honor. Ring of Honor also have a working relationship with, used to have, I don't know if they do anymore, with CMLL. That part's kind of to be determined. And
New Japan, you forgot one. AEW kind of has a little bit of a working relationship with AAA.
No, it's not even a little, like an absolutely working relationship. Because Kenny's the champion, and they've had that belt on Dynamite before, and they've had the AAA tag team titles on AEW programming as well. So there's a big working relationship going on between all those when it comes to those 5 or those 4.
Funny thing you also say that, by the way, because Mike Bennett has been a busy boy on Instagram, and he posted the following. While we are talking about promotions crossing over, if you boys want to play this one back, you know where to find us. And the picture is like a match that he had like years ago.
The Kingdom versus the Bullet Club. I know exactly what that's a reference to.
And the Addiction.
And the Addiction. By the way, there was also one thing about that as well. It was a subtle thing, but on Ring of Honor as well on Tuesday, they mentioned IWGP Tag Team Champions on Ring of Honor programming. And if New Japan's with AEW, I would venture to guess Ring of Honor is with AEW as well. And if that's the case, MLW is probably going to get involved in this too, because MLW also has a working relationship with New Japan. You could also probably get some people from the what was the British promotion that New Japan works with as well,
Rev Pro, yeah.
So there's a ton of moving pieces here that you can't just say, "Oh, this is totally unrealistic." Well, I never would have thought Kenta was coming, but he came, and he made an impact. No pun intended. So yeah, there's too many things that are happening right now that we're anything the fuck out right now. Like there's a ton that could happen. There's a ton that might not happen, but there's a ton more possibilities in the world of pro wrestling right now than there ever has been in I don't even know how long.
Yeah.
Like it's ridiculous how unpredictable everything is right now. The fact that they kept this hush hush too. Kept a opinion.
That's what you do.
Brilliant. Fucking brilliant, dude. Absolutely.
I also really like this because it expands like the universe of the promotion because they can talk about this other stuff now. Where they, don't necessarily have to ignore these promotions now. So
and bring up the history of All In as well. So all of this, if you're smart, stop being a stubborn asshole and get involved in this because you can make so much money if you do.
Yeah.
Don't be an idiot, for the love of God. I don't know. Like this is just pro wrestling's so exciting right now on this side. On this side of the fence, it's ridiculous. Like the possibilities are endless now, and I would love to see. I think this is to give Okada exactly what he wants. I doubt WWE is ever going to get involved, but all these other companies, it's absolutely a possibility now. Okada's Supercard could be a fucking reality soon.
I feel like the only way WWE...
Right, Chris? I don't know if you did. Okada wanted like a dream Supercard and whatnot.
Oh, yeah, I heard it, yeah.
Yeah.
The only way WWE gets involved is if Vince was out of power tomorrow.
Yeah. That's not even a joke.
I wouldn't. I mean, if his son-in-law gets involved, you think he's gonna tell his son-in-law no if he wants to do if he wants to rehab WWE's image a little bit?
Yeah, I think he will.
Yes, I
don't think he would.
I
don't think he would at all. I think if it would do good for WWE for good PR, absolutely, I think you'd do it.
I mean, Kenny did say he was willing to work with them, and fucking Okada wanted to work with them.
Anything to get an audience back for them.
Yeah, right. Big time, and it would help every other wrestling promotion on top of that. I'll tell you this right now: if we have an Undisputed Era and Bullet Club and Elite face off, then I'll fucking lose my mind. But I wouldn't count on that one. Although I've been wrong so far.
Yeah.
Anything that I think they do anything to rehab their image.
I would. If I'm a WWE executive, I'm telling Vince, stop being a stubborn prick and work with these fucking guys.
You know it's a big fucking deal if the biggest wrestling company on the planet for the past 40 years gets involved.
Yep.
All right.
It would be game over. That would be the most insane thing in wrestling.
And then there'd be so many
It would basically be the territory.
Yeah.
There'd be so many brands basically that would be like a territory system where they could feed people, they could trade stars, keep everything fresh.
Yeah.
Instead of the old method of hogging the talent and not letting them go anywhere else.
The only thing is they would have to work out like the stuff. They would have to like find a style that works for everyone because every style is different. So.
Yeah, true. That is true.
But a lot of them work the same style though, regardless of what company they're in. Like Kenta worked the WWE style, he worked the New Japan style, he worked the indie style, like he worked everything.
Yeah, Kenta would be probably like the one that I could see bringing everything together, but I don't know. I wouldn't. I'll say let's see what happens. If WWE joins in, that would be the biggest shocker. And I also wonder how many diehard AEW fans would also tune out though, because there are some that just watch AEW just not because it's an alternative to WWE and they can't stand WWE anymore. So what would happen there? That's what I'd be.
The question: Would they turn out? Would they tune out?
Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't. I'd be interested. I'd stick around to see what happens, unless I know that if the inevitable story is WWE wins LOL, then fuck you. I'm tuning out. But if it and they do this and they make this stretch out for a long time,
if they play ball, essentially.
If they play ball, then I'll stay tuned. I'm sure a lot of people will move over to AEW or at least from the WWE side and watch AEW.
Yeah.
Vice versa, a lot of relapse fans might go back to the WWE. Maybe not all of them because they burn a lot of bridges, but some of them would absolutely.
Yeah. It would be rehab. It's all about the rehabbing of the image in my mind. Like if I was WWE, I'd join just because of all the negative press that they've been getting. It's a great way to rehab their image in a great way for them to, put their talent other places.
Yeah, because they have so much talent.
Put it this way, Chris.
You could have the New Day versus the Elite.
Which would be
think of the money they draw with that.
Yep.
I mean, you could also do
T-shirts you could sell. You could make fucking cereal boxes like they did with the New Day. You could make every fucking thing imaginable. That would be your fucking cash cow.
I mean, if WWE were to join, that's the one guarantee of getting CM Punk back too. That's another thing.
Yeah, I mean,
no question he wouldn't join in this. Like, it would be too big of an opportunity to pass up if they were to join. But put it this way, that's a little. For now, and again, I've been wrong before, but that is fantasy booking. This is more realistic because every other company is willing to work together. I'm sure Triple H would love to work with these guys.
I mean, if Okada's saying it, there's going to be some truth to the fact that he actually kind of wants to work with WWE and get them involved in this.
But will they, with Vince there? Will Vince get cold feet and say, it should just be WWE that anybody wants to go?
I think eventually, if he gets enough prodding, I think he'd join in. Because you got to think.
You've said that 100 times. You've never done it, though.
You got to think of it, though. If Roman Reigns wants to work with Kenny Omega, would he stop him?
No.
That's a good point. That's a very good point.
Would he stop him? If Roman Reigns...
Seth Rollins, too. Seth Rollins,
exactly.
Woody.
Seth Rollins wanted to work with Kenny Omega.
I got a better one. If John Cena wanted to come back and be a part of this, would he stop that?
Exactly. If John it would 1,000% he wouldn't stop.
I remember we booked this one time. I remember way back in the day where we hated our booking. That actually could become a reality now. The one booking we did where we were like, every company works together fucking booking. Yeah. We did like ages ago on the Rundown, back when it was the Aftershock Corner or the Massasoit Wrestling Corner, one of the two.
Like, yeah, and I hated it. And now
it could happen now. Yeah, could actually happen now.
It could happen. It's just crazy. Wrestling becoming crazy. And I'm saying if WWE gets involved, watch out, because it could be like scary good for wrestling.
Oh, wrestling would be blowing up again if that was the case. Although
get in the mainstream media, it will get everywhere.
I think they should. I think WWE should wait though, because that's gonna be the one that gets the eyeballs in everyone. It's gonna be a while. I think they should wait until like the pandemic's like at least somewhat over, because like
they're gonna have to. Yeah, if they were to join anyway. Yeah, they would have.
Nobody wants to.
Dave Meltzer already said that it sped it up, the working relationship with New Japan at least, but it also slowed it down at the same time because they're not going to be able to get a Tanahashi and Kazuchika Okada right away.
Yeah.
He's not wrong because
anyhow though, like we can fantasy book that all we want. Let's talk about let's do the grade for. I got everything for Dynamite, right?
Yeah, everything for Dynamite. I'm rating this A+ just because of everything that happened.
Yeah.
Even the bad stuff was so entertaining that you love Shaq.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Shaq thing sucks. Everything else was good.
Yeah.
Shaq thing sucked, but it was still fucking funny.
Yeah. So James, kiss my ass.
There we go. Perfect.
All right, so that's the end of the wrestling rundown. I thought we had to put. This actually felt like old times, like we're not structuring everything. We just shot the shit pretty much. Like,
yeah, just felt like old times again.
Yeah,
dude, I can't wait to do that same format for the Indie Force and not do topic lists for fucking once.
I know, yeah.
Great.
So yeah, let's talk. Let's plug some stuff. Why don't we start with Chris, because he's got like the least things to plug.
Just description.
Yeah.
Just the description.
Just the description.
That's what. It should still be in the description box. Should be.
He is on this thing called Twitter.com. Have you heard of it? It's a fucking cancer.
Yep.
Twitter.com. The cancer of society.
James, you want to plug your stuff because you don't have as many things.
Right now I don't have as much because this world right now. However, I do have. I'm always still gonna plug WYW because watch it. It's good stuff. Yeah, go watch that. Watch Immortal, good stuff. I think I'm gonna start posting individual matchups on there in the beginning of March, so be on the lookout for that.
Yeah, absolutely.
The matchups themselves, I feel like those are going to be the key thing because I would love to see how many views the matches themselves get, like an individual match itself, because that'd be cool. So yeah, definitely be on the lookout for that. When it comes to the whole Gobra tournament, basically re-upload it in match form, so match by match. That's going to be interesting to do. What else? I think that's really it. Shit, I don't have much going on right now because of taking a break. Oh, shit. How am I going to fucking forget about this? Watch out for Indie Force Extra. It's the final one we're going to do until I'm vaccinated. We are doing an Impact AEW crossover merger affair. And how much benefit that could actually be for the industry if say what we just said before doesn't happen, that's probably how we're going to go and structure this. So
Yeah.
definitely take a look at that. That will be the final, like, hurrah for FTW Productions editing, at least, as you know it. So definitely be on the lookout for that. And yeah, that's it. That's definitely it. I have nothing else going on.
Yeah, so on my end, obviously you're gonna there's past wrestling rundowns going on and stuff you can check out. Me and Chris are finally gonna launch the Aftershock corner. We've been trying to launch it, but something always comes up. Like James wanted to be on this show, so we kind of pushed it back so that way he could be on this show. And Chris has had like work and stuff like that. So we have some topics lined up to talk about. We're gonna talk about WWE stuff. We're gonna talk about like things we missed in 2020. We're gonna say an unpopular wrestling opinion we have. It's gonna be great stuff. James won't be on that because he doesn't like to talk about WWE anymore. So
I will if they get involved in the Dynamite stuff and let them get some good stuff.
And then yeah, that's it. Like on the Talkinator, there'll be some stuff. I might try to see if I can win. Me and Chris are playing SpongeBob Rehydrated, so we might maybe once we get fully beat the game and stuff, we'll like do a review of it or something. Since we're talking about it and stuff. James,
is that a game?
Huh?
Is that a GameCube game or no? Is that
they remade it as a Xbox? They remade it and released it on like the PS4 on the Xbox One and stuff. So yeah. I think the video might be bad though, because I'm not much of a gamer. So like, you know, I don't really probably critique the game as it should be, but we'll see. So
nice. Anything else?
Yeah, that's it.
That's it.
Make sure you watch Impact Wrestling so you can see a bunch of Brian Myers everywhere. So
Yeah.
And before and just to end this podcast the right way, kiss my ass. Yeah.